Yeah, man, the video feed has fallen out. So if you was watching us on YouTube, I'm sorry.
Here's the audio.
Here's the audio. Shit. And check out this new logo, too, that we got.
I know, because that's all it's going to be.
That's right there. This new logo is lit, though. Notice the birds are out of the box.
Shout out Manny Designs. Follow. Give him a good old follow.
Facts.
But yeah, no. That's when I noticed like that I feel like an adult because I am no longer living in my own little bubble. You 100%. Know, when I'm reminded of like shit that they need. Like the other day, Mateo was like, I need help with the science project. And I'm like, fuck, here we go. You know, like all I remember was being worried about my projects. And now he's getting to an age where his projects are coming in. It came out tight. I made it work. Yeah. The egg didn't break. So, but and then I felt proud as a person, not even as a parent anymore. You know what I mean? Just as a person because I accomplished something. And it was, I don't know. It's just super cool. Like, growing with him because realistically being a young mom and like having to do it mostly alone, like
I feel you my significance to this situation, I guess I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, the same thing that is me when I end up in the girls' clothing section of any store. Yeah. And I'm like,
oh, see, that's tough because you don't know.
I'm like, no, and I snap out. I'll be like, yo, what the fuck am I doing here? And
no, he knows his daughter because he picks out stuff.
That, but it's like,
oh, no. I think that I know my daughter until I give her the stuff. And she's like, oh, cool. Like, for instance, I bought her this Nike jacket. Loved it. Bought her this T-shirt. Hated it. All right, Dad. Well, that's cool.
Because, so, again, that's another disconnect, too, that I feel like we have through time. We see them as little kids throughout their whole time. And in reality, like, they want the solid color Nike. They want the solid color Adidas. Like, they want Mateo the champion. Right now, they want this. Sure. They don't want Mateo's fucking T-shirts.
He wants the name brands. Yeah. He might want to, the flashy design or whatever.
Graphic,
but it's like...
Or a graphic tee, but it's nothing.
I still want to buy you some Avengers shit.
Yeah.
Man. Do y'all let Mateo dress himself?
Yeah.
Mateo's getting to the age. Or Luca's now dressing himself, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean he dresses like himself, but we pick out his clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you. So you let Mateo pick out his clothes.
He picks out his clothes.
Yeah. Man, I let Jasleen do it. Now she hates it.
Well, he'll pick out like shirts if it like.
When we're going shopping, they pick out their own clothes.
That's what I do. I shop and I'll be like, yo, pick out 5
Be you.
things.
I can't pick stuff. I can't make you be you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not you. You are developing. You're walking your own path. You're blazing your own trail, bro. I can't tell you how to be you.
I let the hair. I was trying to control it because I hate the whole Edgar fucking haircut. But
that's just retarded. He ain't getting that shit again.
No, yes, he is. Because then I saw a video that said you're telling your kid to stop being like the rest of them. He's going out into the public and he has to deal with the public shame, not you. So you stopping him from getting the haircut that everybody else has and making him get the haircut that you want is only impeding him in his public area.
Right. Okay. Now listen to me. I feel what you're saying, but now what I'm gathering, and mind you, we just had this conversation right now. What I'm gathering from that is you're teaching him to join the pack. Mm-hmm. You're teaching him to be sheeple.
Because that has nothing to do with.
He's not learning how to lead. He's following.
That has nothing to do with his mental state. Me choosing to hang out with gangsters literally didn't get me in any trouble. You know what I mean? Like, I hung out with them, but once they started doing some crazy shit, I was like, I'm out. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to think that I'm raising him correctly enough to where even if he does fit in, he knows when to step out.
I was just going to say,
he knows when to.
So you trust him enough to make that decision to make that turn
when it's needed. When it's needed.
Then that's all that matters.
Me?
If you trust him to do that, then
that's my reasoning for saying he ain't getting that shit again is because all that happened was he got his sideburns cut off. And that shit cost me $50.
He's jealous because he can't get the hairstyle.
Yeah, it's a lot of hair on top.
You couldn't pay me for it.
We know. He said you couldn't pay me for it.
You couldn't pay me to get that haircut. Me too. It's an ugly ass haircut. But when I heard that, it was like, damn, how many times? I mean, I was actually pretty like lucky that my mom let me wear whatever the fuck I wanted. But thinking back now, I'm like, damn. You couldn't tell a bitch to put clothes on the time or two. Like, I would never have allowed my fucking daughter to dress the way.
How do you feel about that?
Hold on. She probably did.
She didn't
listen.
No, she didn't.
Your dad did,
my dad was the one that would tell me to go.
But you still didn't listen.
I did. When my dad would tell me to fucking go change, I had to.
Because you know why? Because if your mama said something, you probably try to fight her. Your
no,
dad, you're not trying to fight. I'm not saying that you personally, but I just feel like females,
I honestly
that's what it is.
Me and my mom had a good relationship until I became a mom and she tried to control my kid and tell me how to fucking parent. Me and her were close. Yeah. Like I snuck out one night and I didn't get home till she was leaving for work, and she beat my ass.
Took flight on her.
Took flight on me, and I took it. I took it like a G. I didn't put my hands up. I didn't do nothing. I took that put her ass hands whooping. She was
drunk as shit.
It doesn't fucking matter. I had.
No, not saying you would have fought, but I'm talking about like a blockage. She didn't even feel the shit.
Yeah, I did that. Obviously, I wasn't gonna just fucking let her. Like, I shielded myself like a natural reaction.
They even do that on wrestling. Bro.
Yeah, so
that's
what I'm saying. Like, it's just a natural reaction to cover yourself. So it's like I covered myself, but I didn't like push her off of me like a disrespectful person would with their parent that's like literally fist closed coming at them, because I knew what I had done and I had respect for her. If my mom would have stepped in a time or two and given me the advice that a mother needed to give their daughter as a minor, I probably would have been a little bit better. I would have respected myself a little bit better.
Listen,
but I just didn't.
I feel like that's why I stepped in. That sounds stupid to me, but like with Jasleen, I'm always gonna be there.
Yeah,
always gonna.
Would you ever say she can't wear something?
100%. Not, but it's not like in a way of like,
like you
can't wear. She's more like you're a
right.
It's more of a
I know what men are like.
Exactly.
No. Yeah, and that's what my dad had to put it down as.
But no daughter's really going to hear that.
I did. My dad explained it to me in a way where like he put fear in me.
Exactly, because I'm going to tell her, I am, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he literally said, I'm a man. I know how men think.
I'm a man. I know how exactly, bro.
And he was like, and there's dirtier men out there that do dirtier shit.
Listen, and not only that, but she sees me watch true crime shit all the time. All the time. She sits there and watches them with me. She knows what some of the stories is like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to strike the fear of God her to where it be like, you know what I'm saying, don't do that. Yeah. But at the same time, you got to be mindful of the shit that you're doing.
I peep things.
If you're going to do it, you have
before
to.
any of my other friends peep it, because ever since I was young, my dad put me on game. Yeah. Men aren't to be trusted.
Absolutely not.
No matter who they are.
Absolutely not.
He was like, don't trust anybody with your kids. Don't trust anybody with yourself. Don't trust anybody. You know what I mean? Anybody. Exactly. And so I was like, okay, you know.
And that's what it is. Y'all got lucky. Y'all got boys.
Yeah.
Y'all got boys.
Sure.
I
wanted a girl. I got a little girl.
I don't want a girl no more.
My next thing, I'm about to teach her how to shoot, bro.
Yeah.
Think I'm playing?
I got taught how to shoot at 13 years old.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm about to teach her how to shoot. And not only that, when she turned 18, I'm about to give her a gun.
My dad, when I turned 13 years old, and, you know, we would go to Mexico, and he had a gun out there and stuff, and I was like, hey, let's go out, you know, out into the open, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And, you know, he started, like, teaching me how to shoot certain things. It's him.
Hold on, listen. My engineer does not like that, bro. I suggest you stop. All right? All right.
So, yeah, no, that's a very good thing, because not only that, I feel like when a lot of men think of you different when you tell them you know how to load a gun, shoot a gun. You know, they're just kind of like, oh. And then the next question is, do you have a gun? You know, and it's like, yeah, and I do.
Not only that, I'm gonna tell her straight up. Don't let them know that you got one. You give me your hand away.
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
If she would have told me that, I really wouldn't have thought twice about it, because I'm like, I don't have any ill intentions.
Right. The people
so if
who
you
don't
have ill intentions, that's when they're gonna start questioning shit.
Yeah.
100%. Anything. I would take that advice about that shit from a girl.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Because nigga, they go through that shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They go through that shit. I know what type of man I am. I know you probably know what type of man you are. Mm-hmm. But it's a whole world out there. Mm-hmm. Like I said, y'all don't got to deal with that. I got to deal with that.
But you could flip it on the other side, and you could be like, you gotta hope and pray and hope that you instill the morals in your boys that they don't become those men.
And not only that, but watch out for women who are like that.
Watch out for exactly, because there's women like that too.
I've told them
100%.
that all the time. I was like, you don't touch anybody, you don't go any bathrooms alone, nowhere alone with anybody, because the moment you're alone is the moment you can also become a victim.
100%.
Because there's women out there that are horrible
100%.
You know, and it's like they will destroy your lives.
And it's like teaching your kids how to be just a normal, not even
that's
perfect,
the
but
shit
just
I'm talking
about.
That's the shit I'm talking about. That reminds me of being a parent and that I need to be an adult, because these are the things that I need to tell my kids. These are the things I need to teach my kids. These are the things I got to make sure my kids don't turn into. That's a shit ton of responsibility that only adults, quote unquote, should have, right? Like, absolutely. I shouldn't be dealing with these
You know what fucked me up the most about having a kid is when they had to go through fucking school shooting drills.
That's just crazy.
That shit, bro. I wanted to cry, bro, when my daughter was telling me.
So today,
my daughter wanted to tell me.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, this is the shit that we had to do."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit made me cry, bro, because I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I never had to go through.
We never did
that as a kid, bro.
We did the earthquakes. We did the fire drills.
We were just talking about that at work because Cesar Chavez had a lockdown today because some kid called the police saying some other kid had a gun on campus. It was a fucking joke. Nobody had a fucking gun, but this whole SWAT team was there. And I was just like, that's sad that all these kids were behind fucking closets, under fucking tables.
They teach them a fucking
what
drill for what
put
to
your backpack
do.
in front of you and all that shit.
That shit is so scary, bro. That shit fucking made me, like, I really shedded a tear, bro. I had to walk away from Jasleen talking about it, bro.
Me and
Mateo
that's
fucking crazy.
have a
your
plan.
Kid has to go through that.
No, me and Mateo made a plan for the school that he's at right now. If anything was to happen and if for whatever reason he was outside, run to the other way. Like, there's a gate that comes to the end of our fucking street. We will be there.
Man,
I will be there. Like, you know, that was when he had a phone and everything. Like, if you hear gunshots,
I'll go after the shooter.
If you hear gunshots in the front of the school, you fucking zoom to the back, because there's bushes, there's a fence right there that you can creep out of, because there's a house that's right there. I was like, you jump fences, you do whatever, you know. And then I sit there and I think about Luca, because he's on the other side of the fucking school.
Exactly,
and it's like,
bro.
okay, I get one out, but then what about the other one?
and that's the thing. Like, it's just like it's crazy to even have to go through that.
Yeah,
I remember when I lived in Livermore. I was fresh out of Hayward too, so I was still in my hood phase. You know what I mean? And the white Livermore is predominantly.
This is French braided Codyak.
Ew.
No, cornrows.
Oh,
That's the same thing.
No, it's not. French braid is in the back of your head. Don't disrespect me.
A French braid is a type of braid that you can start in the front all the way to the back.
It's the same kind of braid.
No,
but
it's
the
not.
cornrow goes on your whole head.
Oh my god!
Listen,
Isn't the cornrow the one that you like?
Listen, the same thing. The French braid and the cornrow is going.
French braid is right here though.
No, the French braid starts up here.
It starts in here and it goes all the way back.
Yeah.
French braid is that little fucking.
That's a ponytail.
That's a fish braid.
And that's a ponytail. If it's just here,
and that's fish tail, isn't it? Fish tail.
If it's the form that you braid, so a fishtail braid is 3, like 4, I think.
That shit right in the fucking back. Oh, why is that one popping up? This shit.
What are you gonna tell us?
It's a French braid. It's in the back of your head.
They can also be
talking to your microphone.
Braids.
Talking to your microphone.
That could also be multiple, like
that can also be multiple braids in that style.
Yeah.
Well, all right, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. French is just a style. French is just the style of a braid. So is a fish braid. So is like a cornrow. So is like.
You don't get to say a spade is a spade, you fucker.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, he opened the floodgates.
Oh, you're about to open the floodgates.
He already did earlier when he said he had to pee.
But when I was in Livermore, we had a shooter on campus.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and like there was girls crying in my classroom, and I'm just looking at them like, "What the fuck you crying for?"
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, because you're just desensitized, like us people. And
that's what it is, because I'm like, this Livermore is the white people, and then you got me coming out the fucking ghetto
that hears gunshots every day. So
yeah,
it's like, whatever.
Like, what the fuck?
Motherfuckers get hit with fucking stray bullets every day where I'm from.
Yeah,
so
whatever. So I literally, I sat there, I'm like, what the fuck are you crying for?
No, it's because you're desensitized.
But now that I'm older, I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah, but like that's what me and my coworker were talking about, how, you know, it gets to be a joke here in Stockton, you know,
yeah,
because
for sure.
Because we know that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
These kids out here are being raised by gangsters or single mothers.
Yeah, we shoot outside the school.
Yeah, they shoot each other outside of school. They're not bringing that shit to school. They don't care about that shit.
But at the same time, you got to think all your friends had guns in school.
All my friends had guns in school to protect themselves after school. It wasn't for in-school situations. Okay. It was because they weren't going home after school. They were going straight to the block to fucking trap or do whatever the fuck they needed to do. So that's why they had guns at school. But we also went to fucking Franklin High School, where a majority of people were colored. There was and we statistics don't lie. Fucking shooters are white. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's just what it is. That shit ain't happening in Stockton. That shit happens in Livermore. That shit happens in fucking Linden. That shit happens where white kids aren't receiving the fucking mental health they need, and their parents are not in the home, and you know, all this other shit, and they're not paying attention to them. Like, over here, we're too fucking poor and broke to be worried about who the fuck doesn't love us or does love us.
Time to be wasting my bullets.
Yeah, we ain't wasting bullets over here. Like, the fuck? Why? School is our safe place. School is where we get fed. School is where we get our 2 meals a day or whatever. Like, school is our safe haven. School is our getaway. We're not fucking shooting schools up.
School was the reason I ate food.
That's what I'm saying. Like, ain't shit like that happening in Stockton. That shit happens.
Drink the rest of your alcohol.
That shit happens elsewhere. You know, and that was a conversation me and my coworker were having because of that call that every Stockton parent probably got that call.
Is that what the phone call was?
Yeah, earlier around 3-something.
Once they start talking about nonsense, once they start saying other than like if it's not Luca or Mateo, I just hang up on them.
Yeah, and so that's what they were saying. Like, we were talking about that. You know, how we're like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, we hear about it, and it did happen back in 1989 at Cleveland Elementary School. Some kid or a shooter went on to campus and shot a bunch of little kids, like a bunch of little 3rd, 4th graders, you know. Again, I think it was a white male that used to work there and was upset at the school, you know.
If you looked at me crazy like I wouldn't be a hero, like I said, I'm going after the shooter. If your kid is in school, what are you doing? Because I'm not sitting outside and the cops ain't going to stop me.
100% not.
That's what me and my coworker said.
I will die.
No, that's what my coworker. That's what my coworker said. She was like, "Stop! Mostly everybody in Stockton has a gun. You think we're gonna be sitting outside the school with our own guns?
There's no way.
With our own guns, waiting for these motherfuckers to do it.
Which is why there's not.
There's not gonna be shootings. Exactly.
There's no way.
That's what and that's what we ended up saying, like agreeing, like there's no way these fucking dads that are at home, you know, because
no,
we were not saying that it wouldn't be shootings,
right?
It's saying that it wouldn't end the way that
exactly
right. We were just at
God forbid that shit happens. We would spring into action, but
for sure.
Between that time that we find out that it happens, after
we're springing into action before the cops get there for sure. I almost guarantee it.
100%, I give you that. But what I'm saying is the time in between us finding out and it actually happened. There's a gap in between them.
It's a huge gap.
Parents
usually don't find out until after the shooting's done.
Well, you got to think, even if you knew right away, say you live 5 minutes away, that's the longest 5 minutes of your life.
Us right now. The only one that would be able to get there would be me. Because I'm in Stockton working down the street from them. But if I was working from the office, you got a 30-minute drive from here to Stockton to their school, and I got a 15-20. And how many more people aren't driving that way too?
Listen,
police and all that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Not only that, but you got to get in there. You got to get past the tape. You got to get past whatever.
Yep.
Listen, it's crazy. That's one of my biggest fears, bro.
For sure.
That's one of my biggest fears because poor kid is defenseless. Defenseless.
You're not even there to help them cope with these feelings or go through with them, walk them through how to, feel them.
God forbid the shit reaches them and they have to, You know what I'm saying? Deal with that at a point to where, like,
right. Imagine like that dude that was in that classroom and he killed all them kids. Like, imagine being in that classroom. You're the classroom that the person is in.
There was a shooting in Colorado last week or 2 weeks ago. No, last week. The reporter that was reporting on the shooting, her kid was a student at that high school, and she watched him walk by her, and she's like, hold on. I gotta give my son a hug. Like, I just saw my son. And I'm like, bitch, I would have been like, I'm done reporting. I gotta go.
Show's over, motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, and like and the lady in the office was like, if you need to take a moment. And like, she's like, yeah, like, she's like, I'm fine. He's fine. You're fine, right? You're fine. Like, she was in a state of shock because she probably was like, the whole time she's standing there trying to be a professional.
She's thinking her kid
where's
is
her
in
kid
there.
at? Yeah. She was able to hug her child. She was able to go on about her broadcast. And it was just more of like, God damn. Like, that shit really does happen every day like that. Like, this lady was already out reporting other things and she got pulled away to her son's high school, didn't even have a moment to think. And then when she realized what she was broadcasting, was like, my kid's in there. And that's the sad reality. Like you said, she got there after the kid was out already. She didn't know about the initial shooting when it happened. She got there to report it when her son was able to walk on by, thankfully. And that's just the fucking sad reality of parents nowadays, you know?
Yeah,
we have to take that into consideration every single day when we send our kids to school. That fucking breaks my heart. Like, the fact that there's manufacturers out there making backpacks with fucking bulletproof shit in them. Man. Oh my God, no, I can't. That is just, I don't know. I can't. I literally. That's what is it called? An intrusive thought that just in my mind. All day long.
I didn't know they made bulletproof backpacks.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Yep. Some lady in like fucking Florida or some shit where that shit happens a lot or something over there.
Don't laugh when you say that. Jesus
well, I'm
Christ.
just saying, like, I laugh because Florida has such a bad rap. Like, every time I listen to a true crime podcast, they're always
but
like,
they say California. So.
Here we are again, back in Florida. You know what I mean? And so that's why I laugh, because it's like, you know, where fucking everything fucking happens down in Florida, you know? And so it's like, that's where I think I saw the kid had, it's an expensive ass fucking backpack. It's like $350 or some shit. But I mean,
100% I would buy that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's expensive, but you got to think that
what it's worth saving, you know? So yeah.
Is your daughter worth $350?
Most definitely.
For sure.
And then they make it a super cute. Like, I think the one I saw was like Spider-Man. Like, it was red and blue and like had like, so
buy that shit for adults. We be getting shot out here too. Shit.
Hey, I'll take a Ninja Turtle one and make it look like you have a shell.
Hilarious.
But
like a turtle shell?
Yeah, a turtle shell, but it's bulletproof and it's on your back.
If you wear it around your neck, is it a turtleneck?
Oh. Bowling.
I ain't never seen an
podcast
outlet
bowling. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a podcast bowling so I can get me whooping his ass on mother.
I was all smiles. I was like, yeah. Oh, okay, we're going there.
No. Oh yeah. No.
On record?
Brought it up.
That took a sharp turn.
On record?
For sure.
We've been bowling for like 6 years.
Every single time we go,
listeners don't believe
this
nothing.
This is the time I'm gonna beat
don't
him.
Believe nothing he says. I beat him literally every time.
Literally.
We have episodes that show you don't.
Oh,
all that stuff is made up and fabricated.
Photoshop.
See,
that score has been right photoshopped at the end.
If they had an outlet, I ain't never seen no outlet in no bowling station.
In the back, they do all the way in the back against the walls.
Right. I needed to.
No,
I
not
needed
in
to
the
be in the bowling
area.
area.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe the little seating area.
How about you have your shit charged when you get there, you ass clown? Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't know. That needs a outlet, no?
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we have one outlet, we're good.
No,
Yeah.
I get it. I shot myself in the foot there.
Yeah. You run out of feet.
Oh, you gotta go to that tow company I used to work at.
What?
are you guys like excited for like your 50s? Do you think you're gonna get your second win? Like
no, I'm not excited to turn 50. That's
Why
close.
not?
It's closer to death.
I pray I make it to 50.
No, I pray I make it to 50, but I'm not looking forward to 50.
No, what you need to do is work on yourself now, so you can work on. You can look forward to 50.
Right, and you
For
can
sure.
just like enjoy the last moments happily with yourself and with the people around you, and without like, you know.
Why do your last moments have to be in your 50s?
Not even that, right?
I hope
Because
not.
like you can, right, and that's what I'm saying. Like you have to get over it now, because it's like, what did they say? If you think too much about the past, there's no room for the present.
Absolutely.
And then you
it's
can't
hard
think
to
about
build
the
on
future. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's your ideal age to kick the bucket?
What the fuck?
That is the most morbid question
Yeah.
that I've ever heard in my life.
But realistically, like in my 80s.
Word?
Yeah. I don't want to live past 90, and I don't want to.
That means
like,
I have 50 years left.
And I don't
That's
want
scary.
to. I don't.
You ain't
mind.
even made it to 50 years yet. So why is that
No,
scary?
I'm
50
saying
years
if-
left. So there's
50 years
50
left.
years
Oh,
to
from
80
now.
something.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I died at 80,
Yeah. You got 50 years. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. What I don't want to do is become an old person that's dependent
on people. That's what
at
my
that
mom
point,
said.
I think I'd want to die.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. She was like, she pretty much initiated, or pretty much said like, help me commit suicide type of shit. Like if I'm to the point where I can't wipe my own ass, I can't shower, I can't feed myself,
Yeah.
I have to wear
wouldn't wanna
diapers,
live
and
for
I
sure.
urinate, like, and I'm
That's-
urinating myself. She was
Yeah.
like, that's not a life I want to live.
Absolutely not.
And I was like,
think
fuck.
I feel her. I feel like that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Because already I'm not. When I was sick, and I had my little shit. That was not something
Yeah.
that I wanted. I got this. Don't
Yeah.
even trip. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I'm cool.
That was the most humbling moment for me too, when I had my back surgery,
Yeah.
and he had to assist me with certain
It's
things.
crazy.
The most humbling, most embarrassing
Same with my ankle.
moment.
I couldn't do
For
shit.
sure.
I couldn't walk or nothing. I couldn't do a fucking thing. And I had to have her. I had
That's
to
different
have
though,
her
because I
apply shit.
wasn't like doing the
Yeah,
shit
she
you were
wasn't
doing
wiping
for
your
me.
ass, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't want to say like you
True,
were wiping me.
I literally was wiping her ass.
Like, you know, and like bathing me, and right, literal. There's nothing other literal than that. Like, and like, you know, he was bathing me. Like he had to make sure my you know, incision was clean all the
Right,
time, but
right.
he couldn't get direct water on it. Like
Right.
those little things, and then I had to have him there help me get out of the shower. Oh my god.
When that shit becomes somebody's job
Yep.
and they're dependent on a paycheck.
Yep. Oh god.
The worst is
It's
to have
different when
somebody
it's
who
out of
don't
love
give
to
a
a paycheck.
fuck about
Yep.
that job.
Yep.
And you're just one. That is the worst.
So we
bro.
were having that, you know,
Yeah.
and
And I feel you. And that if I ever reach that point, God forbid, yeah, just go ahead and
Yeah.
my niece, it's assisted suicide. There you go. My niece, when we were having that conversation, my mom was like, I asked from you guys one thing, that you guys never put me in a home, because once people start getting paid for this shit, it's not out of love. I'm gonna, you know, I just don't want to go through that type of trauma in my last years, she said. And my niece was like, I would never do that. She was like, I would pay somebody to come in the house, you know, and
even that's not the best.
but we're there, is what she's saying. Like
Right.
somebody's there, but they're the ones assisting them with
there's no
certain
visiting
things.
hours,
It's
no none of that
nothing.
shit.
No, we're here.
yeah.
The only people that are actually
The
like
camera's not
caring
even on anymore.
are hospice, and that's because they know you're in your last days.
Even then, though, bro, you can catch anybody on their bad day, bro.
Yep.
You can catch anybody on it. You know what I'm saying? Just on some fucked up shit, bro. On the real, and it's like
Because once
what's
people,
important to me is not important to them. This
Yep.
is
Yeah.
this is just 8 hours.
yeah,
to add
this
to their
is
check.
just
You know
for
what
me
I'm
to
saying?
survive in life.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Opposed to you doing it for me because just out of pure love.
And that's
I'm saying.
that's what my sisters have said too to my mom. Like, if you think that we're gonna do, like, you wiped our butts when we were babies, you took
Right.
care of us, you taught, you
I
know,
would
you
never
walked
put my
us.
mom in a home.
Never. No, that I
Never.
think that is the most inhumane thing to do. I get it. People have their circumstances, but it's like, I get it, and then I don't. Especially the motherfuckers that have the room for their parents.
No.
Oh.
Listen, I think it's understandable if you put your parents in a home. What's not understandable is to put them there and just forget about them.
Yes,
That's the most
yeah.
fucked up.
Just
Yeah.
leave them there.
Yeah.
That's where it's
I know
fucked
somebody.
up at, bro. We ain't even gonna go there and put that.
I'm not.
out
That's
there
all I
to
wanted
get
to
us
say. I
sued.
know somebody.
But that is my biggest fear, which is why I kind of want more kids, because
no, dead ass. My mom has 5 to choose from.
Yeah, no, for real. Because I just got one right now, and
well, it's shitty when you got multiple kids, but you can only depend on one. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Yeah. What if your second one ain't worth it?
But then for me, I kind of just have the hope out there. You know what I'm saying? But I
think it all has to. But it all has to do with the way you parent and the way you love.
100%.
Because my mom loved all those kids, fucking, to the end of her. Like she did what she needed to do. So that is why they have that respect and they hold that like fucking honor. They want to honor her in that way to return that favor because they know what she had to give up in order to take care of them growing up,
and that's all that I hope that I instill in my kids. You know what I'm saying, and future kids, if God willing, if I have any.
Yep. Yeah,
because that is one of my biggest fears, bro, to fucking be wandering around.
Yeah. And that was I say that all the time to Daniel. I'm like, when I see older people, unsheltered or unhomed people.
Or just walking around when they could barely walk.
I'm like, what happened? What type of person were you when you were like a parent? Are you not? If you're not a parent, I'm sorry. Because then you're just the last of the last.
You could feel bad for the old person, but what if they were just a complete piece of shit?
And that's their karma that they're reaping. You know what I mean?
But how would you know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And or what, like I said, or what if they didn't have any kids and or if they did have a spouse, the spouse already like deceased, he's the baby. Because I'm the baby. I'm gonna watch everybody die. And because I'm
if God's
of
design.
course, but because of how the fucking evolution of life happens, older goes first, younger's last. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna see my uncles and aunts who haven't died in a car accident or whatever die from natural causes. You know what I mean? Because that's just the evolution of life.
Which comes down to, like we talked about before, was one of us isn't gonna be at the other's funeral.
Right.
Yep.
And that's a fucked up thought.
For sure.
From your parents to your siblings, if God's design works properly, you're the only one that's going to all their funerals.
And I already know that God's design doesn't work like that because I've already been to my brother's funeral. I already know that the evolution of life.
So it worked out in the design. It just didn't work out.
No, because my parents should have never buried their child.
Yeah, because they're still alive. Fuck
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. No, like that. I already know that the evolution of life does have its little bumps in the roads, and it doesn't always work out like that. Because I could even go as far as like miscarriage. Before we even met them, we saw them, we knew them, we loved them. But that was the evolution of life. You find out you're pregnant and you think you're gonna have the baby. You start figuring stuff out. You start looking forward into your life. Man, and imagining that.
I got a dark ass joke about miscarriage, and I hope you take this out of the fucking podcast.
What happened?
Do you think that, because you know how like babies, they say like babies choose you? Mm-hmm. Do you think
he
like
said,
right?
Nope.
Do you think like miscarriage is like baby is like he gets there and
that
he
means the baby that's coming around the corner and he goes back like,
I picked the wrong one. I picked the wrong one.
No, right. Yeah.
It's like when you're a sperm and you're coming out. You're like, wait, it's a blowjob.
Bro, listen, I was like, oh, this is hella dark, bro.
No, yeah.
Do you?
And no, because that's how I see it. That's how
Luca
I
tells
saw
us
it.
all the time. He's like, I chose you guys.
Yeah, he's like, I picked you
fuck
guys.
Up. He's told you all that.
I swear to God. I don't know if it's because of the movie Soul or if he genuinely just be saying that shit. But he said, he's like, I chose you guys, and she's like, why'd you choose us? He's like, because I love you.
Yeah, like, he's told us twice in 2 separate situations. And he told me once, bless you. He told me once, and then I was like, listen to this shit. I was like, you chose us, huh, baby? And he was like, yeah, I chose you guys.
No, it's not.
And I was like, see, he says he chose us. And he was just like, you chose us? Like, he's like, yeah. And he goes, where were you? And he goes, in heaven. He was like, I saw you guys. And he was like, why'd you choose us? And he was like, because I loved you.
Shut up. I never got no story like that.
It's pretty cool.
It's fucking awesome. And I tell him, I'm like, because we made him with love. There was so much love between us. That's why he knew that he loved us back. It's fucking tight. Like he's literally like,
that fucks me.
Our reason.
I like that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he tells us that all the time, and as you can tell, it's a tearjerker.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's beautiful.
Especially because I was so scared, like, because I had miscarried prior to him.
Yeah.
And when I first found out I was pregnant, I was like, fuck. And I told him, I was like, don't get too excited. And he goes, why? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, just don't tell anybody. Don't say anything, until I'm like 3-4 months. And he's like, why? And then I had to explain to him. And then for him to tell me that, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm glad I protected you because you were coming to me. Like, you knew it was your time to come to me. Because that's what I think about my miscarriage. Because I was with Mateo's dad. And I want to say God or the baby was like, he's not the right one. Like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to come down to that. Like, I don't want to let that be what it is. Right. And so, because I do believe in that. Like, in times, like...
Damn, y'all, she tearing up, bro. This is serious for real.
Yeah. It's hard because I do believe in things like that. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Like, they choose us. We have our number, when our number gets pulled, it's our time. Like, things like that. And you could literally wake up.
Everything's divine.
Yeah, like, you could literally wake up and be having a great fucking day, and that be the day. God said, that's actually why I let you have such a great fucking day.
I saw a thing, and I want to have a conversation with God about this, because he better not make me do it. I better not die at the end of a work day. Because if I do, me and God are gonna have a fucking.
I saw a quote that was like, "Dress every day like it's your funeral, because that's what people are gonna. That's what your ghost is gonna be wearing for the rest of your life."
You wake up and die in some boxers. All you gonna be wearing some boxers?
Damn! Do you know how cold it's gonna be in the afterlife? That's crazy.
Oh. Your nipple's gonna be hard all the time.
They're gonna be cutting glass everywhere.
That's what your ghost is gonna be.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Hey, do you think when you die that your spirit lives in those clothes?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Your energy for sure does. That's why I overthink my anxiety super bad. Like, because they say that, like, people who are new souls here have the worst fucking time their first time around because they're still trying to figure out life.
That makes sense.
I have the worst fucking time ever. I cry about everything. I get angry about everything. I have no fucking patience. Like, I'm the baby of the family, so I was nurtured. It's kind of like, oh, let me help you with those mistakes, which it's like, that's why I feel like it's my first time here, because I don't have a birthmark.
Yeah.
I don't have deja vu. That's my biggest inkling.
Oh, I get deja vu
all
the time.
He's like, you don't get deja vu. It's like, there's never been a moment in my life where I'm like, whoa, that's weird. I've been here before.
This definitely sounds familiar now.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm like, I think this is my first time here. Sorry. Like, yeah. Like, you guys have more of like cool, calm, collected,
As much anxiety as I get, I still don't think this is my first time.
No, I think he just
you got a birthmark? No,
I think he just hasn't done it right because he stops himself. Like, he still hasn't found his purpose each lifetime. Mm-hmm. So each lifetime he gets more and more anxious because it's his soul trying to fucking figure it out and figure an answer.
I saw this thing that says that when you choose, like, I want to be this person, you know what I mean? Like, you the whole soul situation type deal. When you choose, you already know kind of the layout.
Yeah, of who you're going to be.
So me being me right now, I was like, music. That's what I want to dive into.
Well, that's kind of cool because, like, that cartoon movie Soul, that's what they do. Like, the little soul is floating, and then he was like, he's gonna be some fucking weird ass word, and it goes in happy, and then it comes out like, a like sad face, and it's like, because it's gonna, but because he's gonna be really good in this, and then they add that, and then like,
and it goes to, like and it goes to show kind of like how. If you notice, like, rich people, they're very miserable, and they say it like it's not what I thought it would be type shit. Like Kanye West, he's like, I wouldn't have chose this if I knew it. Before, when you choose your vessel or whatever, and they're like, okay, you're gonna end up being this fame, you're gonna be Kanye West. Now, your past life, you probably were a fucking whatever You know what I mean? So it's like
you were Kanye East.
Yeah, Kanye East, and you're like, this is the complete opposite of what I was.
I wanna go
but
west.
you're a more miserable West. You know what I mean?
You think that's how they took the Oregon Trail?
What?
They thought that they were supposed to go fucking east and they went west and they
went
fucking
west and
died
they were
in the
like, "Oh,
front in
God,
the
this shit is
fucking
miserable."
snow, the fucking coming through Arizona or whatever the fuck. No, they didn't go through Arizona. It's Oregon. They were on the top.
They might have went through Arizona to get to Oregon.
Which is why they went the wrong way.
Wait, is that the prefix of the game?
Fuck.
They went the wrong way?
No, you just have the Oregon Trail just took.
Fuck, was it?
Oh,
I don't know. You guys kind of fucked me up. I don't fully remember the game like that.
I was like, I died multiple times.
I remember I played it like
multiple times.
I played it like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I didn't beat the game. I never made it to
either.
Oregon.
Listen,
Never made it to Oregon.
there was 6 months out of the year where that was the sole reason for going to school.
Yeah.
For sure.
You would get 45 minutes at the end of the school.
At the end of school, and I would stay.
Yeah,
For
me
sure.
too.
For sure.
Yep.
They also had this helicopter game where you're on the helicopter and you like
you're
drop
collecting
down
words or whatever,
some
yeah.
shit. I don't know. That was my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Hey, did you guys play the penguin one? The ones that you guys were like in ice and like
Was it math?
Yeah,
It was math.
Yeah, and it was a penguin.
I think I did.
Yep,
probably
that was dope.
For sure.
I love that one.
You know
That's
what?
honestly how I got my timetables going.
Oh my God. Listen, I think I learned my timetables like off of a fucking video game.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Shout out Miss Shirley.
You should get your clock off of the kitchen table.
What?
Times tables.
You're an idiot. But that was a good one. Now that I think about it, that was awesome. No, but I got in punishment. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast before, but I got in punishment.
No, you definitely talked about it.
I did?
No,
Okay.
you're always in trouble. I don't know.
Oh my God, you're a fucking idiot. God damn it. Anyways, I got in trouble at daycare, and
Yep, you definitely told this story before.
Fuck
You're
you,
always in trouble at
babe.
daycare.
I'm on you, baby ass kid. What the fuck? How you getting in trouble in daycare? I'm over here expecting like fifth
every
grade,
story
sixth
you
grade.
say.
Nope, daycare. What the fuck, sir? What were you doing at 3 years old?
Every story you say starts off with back when I was at daycare with Miss
Shirley.
Miss Shirley.
I'm like, geez, poor Miss Shirley. She deserves a fruit basket. Fuck. She deserves an edible arrangement.
You gotta find Miss Shirley and get her a fucking chocolate strawberry.
That's what I'm saying, an edible arrangement. Because what the fuck?
All right, let's hear it. What'd you do in Miss Shirley's
What'd you do in Miss
class?
Shirley's class today in daycare? Fuck.
That's her name, right, Miss Shirley? Yeah, exactly. That's how you know it's true.
He just said it though. That's how I got it.
Oh,
Miss Shirley.
Fuck.
What happened to Miss Shirley's class?
Oh my God.
Over there
yo,
off of
that was
Magazine
so
Street.
funny. Listen.
He fucking says
So I don't know what I did. I think I got in trouble at school or I did something there. But nonetheless, my punishment was to sit in front of the fucking multiplication table and get my multiplications right.
Damn, that's a
shit.
fucked up punishment.
Yeah.
Listen, but I learned them.
Yep.
For sure. Can you
Learned them.
So if I hit you with a fucking what's 8 times 5?
40,
8 times 7.
56,
8 times 2.
16,
8 times 9.
54.
72.
72. It's 72.
It's
I said
72.
54.
8s, I could never get them. 8s were my hardest. They're to this day are
times
my hardest
12.
ones.
For real?
8's my hardest one.
8 times 12.
8
96.
times 8 is
96.
64. But 8s are my hardest ones. I could do all the other ones, but 8s were the hardest fucking ones.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
You know what were the hardest ones? The 11s.
For real?
No. I was like, I'm just kidding because it's just add the same number one more time.
Right.
And I knew I knew this is when I knew my brain worked different from like other people. Because as a kid, when I was learning 9s, I realized that the numbers were backwards. And when I was in class and people would try to do it and they never figured it out.
That's the oldest fucking trick in the book.
No, but people know. I figured that shit out in like 4th grade.
Have you gone on TikTok and seen some of the math tricks that they got?
Dude, have you fucking
That
seen
shit will
Jasleen, how
fuck
she
you
does
up.
math now?
Listen.
New math
that's-
is stupid.
New math is so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
but
New math is crazy.
I've literally had to write letters to Mateo's teachers because I don't know how to do new math, and I'll show him how to do old math on his homework.
It's a
Yeah.
disconnect.
And they'll be like, oh, no, that's not correct. And I'm like, well, if you want his homework, I was like, it's the same answer though, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, if you want him to show work and get the answer right, that's the math he's doing because that's the math I'm able to show him at
Right.
home.
How are you going to tell me too? Yeah, how are you going to send my kid home to do math when I don't know, when I only know original math?
Well, she said because
not only that, but these teachers are the same age as us.
But she said that it's
or
because
older.
In the testing, it's their math. So me teaching Mateo is only setting him up for failure.
As long as he get the answer right, that should matter.
Yeah, exactly. But how are you supposed to teach him any other way when you don't know the other way?
Exactly. And you're not teaching him enough to bring it home, apparently, or he's not grasping it the way you're teaching it, or whatever. Maybe like
me and Mateo got into it one time. Not like not he did nothing, but we were getting into it. I'm like, stop doing it that way. It's not working. I was like, you need to go. And I was teaching him the regular way. And he's like, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. I was like, show me how you do it. And I was like, that shit makes no sense at all.
There's so many extra steps that are unnecessary. And then like,
I don't understand why they switched it. What did they switch it for?
It's a new curriculum.
Fuck that. Why? I need the why. Fuck when.
No, my thing is that I was out of commission for like a year. And I'm telling you,
it changed before that.
I came back into this world and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
And it changed before that.
Because my daughter goes through the same shit. Mm-hmm. But she's such a fucking, she's probably been here before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Jasleen, she's an old soul. You can tell right off the bat.
She's probably been here before because this shit is nothing to her. Nothing. And I be doing her homework and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I be doing it my way. Yeah. She'll do it her way. Oh, Dad, no, it's not. It's this way. Like,
yeah, literally. What? Yep. And the way they explain it, and they understand what the fuck they're explaining. So that's how I know. That's how I know he knows it because he's able. Yeah, because he's able to explain it to me, and I'm like, well, fuck. At least you know it. That's all that matters. At least you know it.
Right.
And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I just can't help you with that. Ask your teacher tomorrow. Yeah. Because if you don't know what they taught you today,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Because this is how I do it. And I'll do it. I'll do it on a separate piece of paper.
And get I'm the same answer.
Right. I'm like, I think this is the answer.
Much faster.
And when I had a teacher conference with his teacher now, I was like, I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, but that's the only math I know how to show him. I'm like, so that's why I do it on a separate piece of paper.
Why would they expect you to know anything different? That's my thing.
He started laughing. He was like, how old are you? And I'm like, 30. He said it in like a nice way though.
I still would have punched him.
And I'm like, I'm 30. And he goes, yeah, I figured. He's like, because you could have been my student. He was like, because that's when I started teaching. He's like, that's when I first started teaching like 20 years ago. He was like, so you could have been my student because that's the way I would have taught it 20 years ago.
Oh, I was finna say.
No, he was like, so that's okay. He's the first teacher that's giving me the okay on him doing math the old way. He was like, because I know exactly what you're doing. Because like you said, all these other teachers are our age and that's what they're learning in college when they're graduating.
But is there a Google fact check on why they switched it?
It started when the whole No Child Left Behind thing happened.
So let's make it harder.
No, it's not harder.
It's harder to us because we know different.
Right, that's probably easier.
Yeah, so they start teaching this curriculum since kindergarten. So that's why they have that extra TK, because TK teaches them like numbers and like to get that out of the way, right? Because in first grade, they start doing math, they start doing reading, they start writing sentence, they start doing all this shit so it can prepare them into the new curriculum. And the curriculum changes every year, realistically. Like every year they change something in the curriculum. So that's why the teachers have no contact day, at school because they're learning new things that need to be updated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it says the new math was designed to give...
And it's literally, the new math. Yeah, it's literally
the
called
new
that.
math was designed to give students a better understanding of mathematical concepts. The standards seek to create problem-solving skills and an ability to apply math concepts to real-world problems. This means that solving math problems now looks very different. But isn't that what the fuck we were taught math to do?
No.
To apply to our everyday lives as we got older?
No, because that's why we're impatient individuals. What you just read was they're teaching them to take step by step, which is what you're supposed to do in life. We're always in a rush.
Instant gratification.
Here's another one. It says, essentially, new math means showing your work. Problems are drawn out much further than old math using techniques you have certainly used in your head to solve problems. This allows teachers to recognize their students' grasps the concept itself, not the answer, uplifting the effect. It's still, I'm not understanding how
it's just pretty much teaching you patience.
So basically, so when you just quizzed me and was like, what's 8 times 5?
Yeah.
That was like 40. Mm-hmm. With the new math, I would basically have to break down to you what I got.
8 5 times.
What I got and how I got to 40.
Yeah, so it would be like 8 plus 8 is 16.
Showing your work. We had to show our work too.
And then 16 plus 16 is 34, and then plus 6 is 40. Like, that's what new math is.
That seems so excessive.
Crazy.
But it's because, so I feel like they're including.
By the way, your math was wrong. It wasn't 34. It was 32. And then
16. Oh, yeah, that's right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the kids, I feel like that's what they're doing, because some of us are visual learners, some of us are like just hearing, some of us can read it in a book and learn it. I feel like that's the way they can get all 3 in one.
What are you? Are you a visual learner, or are you a articulate
No,
learner?
I can learn.
She can learn any way, honestly. I'm pure visual. I can't look at something in a book and know how to do it
and understand it. I can see it and do it, and I can hear you tell me a problem, and I will be dissecting it in my head, and then I will give you the answer.
Yeah,
that's a talent.
I'm purely visual.
I'm a left-hander, so I use both brains.
Really?
I'm lefty.
You're not allowed on this podcast anymore. You're too lucky.
She got 2 brains.
I
had a joke, but
no.
Well, the head be so good.
She went to college. Just kidding. She got a good brain. She got a good brain. She went to college.
Nah.
But no, it's I'm visual, and even sometimes with me, visual, it has to be certain
the picture's
things
got to be explained.
Yeah, certain things have to be. I can't look at a paper and figure it out. I have to see you do the shit.
Right, and I respect the little laugh that you had, because I laugh at myself, because I've had people explain shit to me once or twice, and then I'm like, God damn it, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn, you got to show me, bro.
I lose you.
100%.
My employer was very what is it called? Not like, oh, good job, but she was just like, that's cool, because whenever she wants to tell me something, I walk in there with a notepad and I take notes of
that
like
might
things.
Be the smartest thing you could do.
Of like what she's saying, and then she's like, "What are you writing down?" And I'm like, "Things that I think are important." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like you said, like buyers is selling agent, sellers is listing agent.
Is that not how you take notes?
Right.
Are you a good note taker?
And you just listen to what you think.
I'm not at all.
What you think is important.
Yeah, no.
Because what I think is important is always the stupidest shit in the world.
And I always tell Mateo is the same way. Mateo picks the dumbest shit out of the fucking lineup. And I'm like, you gotta fucking focus on people, places, and things.
Literally, she'll tell me a story of whatever. Say it's her day.
What color was the car again?
She'll tell me a story of her
car
entire
wasn't even
day.
There.
I won't remember not a fucking thing, and then she'll say the stupidest, most irrelevant fucking thing. I'm like, I remember that story.
Yeah.
And it causes many arguments.
Well,
but you know what? That's how we learn.
That's how my brain works.
That's how our brain works.
I need, because she'll get mad because even you. I asked you a million questions. What was it? This did this happen? Da, da, da. I need to know these things in order for me to.
I need the stupidest thing to stick out because the rest of it doesn't.
Like
all the one minor detail
is the sore thumb. Everything else blends together.
Absolutely.
I remember I was like, so me fucking almost dying wasn't important enough to remember.
No,
but
it was
you
the
remember
squirrel that you almost killed.
Right, exactly.
Getting out of the way.
It was the bee that came in with the fucking sting that was the cause of the near death.
It was the bee that made you roll your window up from fear of being stung that made you swerve. Because you saying you almost died and hit a tree doesn't ring no bell.
Not at all. You know how many times I've seen that on the movie?
You're like, why were you swerving? Like, that's
right.
Like,
what road were you on? Why did you have to swerve?
Yeah. So
I tell you to turn your radio down all the time
so I can see where I'm going.
Jesus
Bro, my mom's car, when you back up, the radio lowers. And I was like, did your radio lower? She's like, yeah. I was like, well,
what kind of car does she have?
She has
a
Kia Optima.
Ooh, what year?
A brand new one.
She has a Forte, not a
2020.
It's a Forte.
2020?
Yeah.
Stick shift?
No. It's a dual transmission. But
It's
once you go to the manual, that bitch picks up.
It brakes hella nice. It picks up hella nice.
What?
But no, so she's
my
all.
first car was an Optima.
So she's all. What? She's like, that's fucking stupid. I was like, it's really not. I was like, you know how many times I've seen you turn the radio down to find an address?
Yeah, that's why they do it so you can focus on backing up.
She's like, oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's for you to focus backing up.
What millennial came up with that shit?
Listen, and you know
I'm
what?
loving the new inventions.
They are living in the lap of luxury right now.
I am loving all these new inventions because you're like, a fucking millennial came up with that shit.
For sure.
I love the pothead millennials because they make good cereals.
All the fucking different cereal flavors that are coming out. S'mores, fucking graham crackers, fucking...
You mix fucking Cocoa Puffs, marshmallows, and golden grams together and made one of the best contraptions ever made.
Yep.
And he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell this to the public under
and
this
he was
name.
just chilling at home with all the cereal he got to take home from
Highest
school.
fuck.
He literally went from work. He had the bottom of the bag of each cereal.
And put them all together.
He's like,
100%.
I'm going to make a whole bowl.
The next day he walks in there and is like,
bruh. And he walked in like the nigga too. He was like, man, fuck what y'all talking about. Watch this.
Yep, exactly.
Damn, that's
he
hella
was
funny.
waiting for the boss to be like, anybody got any pitches? The fuck I do.
Ooh.
Shit.
I've
Ooh,
been waiting for you to answer. I've been waiting all year for this question.
I've been waiting. Shut up, goddammit. I'm going. Hey,
bitch, I said I'm making a fucking PowerPoint.
Oh my
fuck you.
God, that's hella funny because you know what? You're right.
The pothead millennials are the best.
That's all that is.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of blended flavors, and somebody was smoking weed and was like, God damn, I'm hella hungry.
Yep.
And he didn't have enough of each.
any of them. Yep. And just put all the last of his favorite in there.
Man.
What if he had Lucky Charms and was like, ugh, that brown shit, fuck that. Give me the marshmallows.
Yep.
Hey,
only
listen,
the marshmallows.
I'm not a fan of Lucky Charms.
I hate Lucky
Me
Charms.
either.
I hate them.
Yeah.
Really?
This is probably one of my least favorite cereals.
Yeah, I don't ever go for that.
Did we have this conversation already?
No,
but you said that you prefer the cereal over the marshmallow.
I'm not a fan of Lucky Charms, and I appreciate y'all for the fact that y'all feel me because listen,
I hate Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms are not.
They're disgusting.
Cool,
they're stupid.
It is the most pointless cereal.
It's so dry. Even if you just throw a handful of shit in your mouth, you're like, it's like cardboard. Like the little fucking pieces taste like cardboard.
Salute to you eating cereal straight out the fucking box.
Well, I always gotta taste it. Honestly, no. I do snack on cereal.
Open the bag up and just let me.
No, I really do. I really do. Because the other day I really grabbed the fucking colossal berry whatever thing, and I just sat here and I was eating.
Hey, Captain Crunch smack dry or not?
What? You said fuck the roof of my mouth. I'm gonna go ahead and take.
Literally.
That is the most.
It'll get
moisturized
later.
I've ever heard. I don't give a fuck what Tupac did in his life. He ain't never took a bag or a handful of Captain Crunch.
Shot some undercover cops.
Here's even worse.
Listen,
this is even worse. I was high and had cotton mouth, and that was what I reached for.
No, but if you put them in your mouth and then you suck on them,
nope, damn,
I don't like it.
It's your lifestyle, though.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
You don't like your lifestyle?
Oh, what?
He put them in your mouth and you suck on them.
No, do not get in on this. Fuck you. Fuck you for getting in on the joke. God damn it. No, we're not having this at all.
It's my fault by default.
I mean, it's my God. Yeah. No, but that's gangster though. You putting the whole
that was
fucking
a bar. It's my fault by default.
No.
You're welcome.
So you're putting a whole fucking handful.
Fuck you guys! You don't give me my fucking credit ever.
He didn't want to give it to you. I gave it to you
ever.
He's in his head. He's like, I'm gonna steal it. I can't give it credit for this.
Yep.
That's not what I said.
How you gonna win when you ain't right within?
Oh my God! No. No, what I was saying was, you know what? It doesn't even matter anymore.
No, so go ahead.
Oh my God! I was just gonna
point.
say, salute to y'all putting Captain Crunch just straight in your mouth, no milk. Like, R.I.P. to the roof of your mouth. You know,
it never learn how to eat cereal. It's never really fucked the roof of my mouth up.
There's a way to learn how to eat Captain Crunch.
Honestly, when I eat Captain Crunch with milk is when it fucks up the roof of my stomach. But raw, like just
the roof of your stomach.
I was like, yo, that is a whole different story.
The roof of my mouth. Yeah. Come on, yeah, take a shot.
Chalet. You know, my favorite thing about you. This is your third shot that you've poured.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't poured me one.
You selfish.
I didn't know that you were still.
Jordan, if you were a fish in the sea, you know what you would be?
Oh,
selfish. You'd be a selfish.
Damn.
That's how I know I made something good up because she continues to quote me.
No, she did. She definitely did.
Oh, that's not the first time she's done it.
You got
I'm good. I'm
she got all the wine over there.
I'm chilling. I'm about to down half of this right now with you guys when you take a shot.
We're going to cheers the Friends Cup.
How you doing?
Shout out to the Friends Cup because, goddamn it.
I'm not going to lie. Hennessy used to be my favorite alcohol.
When you were a blender?
I can't drink this shit no more.
You're not much of a blender anymore.
Got static going on this side.
I'm not the full blending that you need. I'm not the full ingredient to the blend to make this smooth.
Bruh,
your first drink was fucking vodka, white girl. Get out of here.
I added enough Hennessy and wine.
I wish I could see my face right now.
Excuse me. For it to taste like Hennessy and wine at the same time.
Go get us a bump, bro.
It should be cold by now. Not me. I don't need one. I'm okay.
Jasleen,
I can't do it, bro. I really.
Come here, please.
I can't do it no more. I'm on like tequila
this
now.
Over here, just the Hennessy fucking flavor has not left my mouth.
Really big favor.
How would you feel if like Mateo calls me dad? I've also known this kid and raised this kid since he was 3 years old. But how would you feel hypothetically if Jasleen was 3 years old and Naima had a new dude? And
that's what I'm saying. Shout out to her because it takes a lot out of her.
It took like 2 years for him to start calling me dad. Maybe 3.
But it takes a lot out of her in order to not,
How would you feel? Me? I don't think I'd accept
He's
it.
so angry.
I wouldn't accept it, me personally.
Excuse me. No, I'm not angry. What I'm going to say might be controversial, might be not. But if I was the type of guy who was not there for my daughter,
I was going to say
that would be a different story. If the dude that stepped up and took my baby mama and was providing for, you know what I'm saying, and whoever is
literally
as
me
much
and Mateo's dad.
As much as of a man that I think I am, bro, there's no way that I can call myself a man and I'm not taking care of my kid, whether I'm with her mom or not.
I understand that, but that new person lives with them, so that new person sees her every day. Goes to, they don't go to.
But if his dad was in his life more, he wouldn't be calling me dad.
But that's not the question. The question was, would I be offended if she was calling another man dad because I wasn't there?
Right.
I would not be offended. If I wasn't there, yeah, I could play the role of like, oh, I'm so mad and I'm so blah because I'm her dad. And inside, if I was a real motherfucker, bro, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's why I go as hard as I do and I work as hard as I can and I do as much as I can for my daughter. One reason why, and I'm going to tell y'all this because this is a cheat code. I want to make it so hard for the dude that calls himself her man.
You want to set the example of what a man is.
I need this motherfucker to be able to provide and, you know what I'm saying, do what she
And
feels.
I can tell you, as the man who doesn't measure up to the father,
it's a cheat code.
It is a cheat code. It's bad on the person because I could never do for her what her dad did for her.
Absolutely not.
Or her brother.
Know why? You should never aspire to, because you know why? You can never be her dad. You can never be her dad. what you do
but like you said, you're gonna set the tone for it, right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. You can follow the footsteps.
As a father, that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
As the boyfriend too. It's a shitty position to be in.
You have to be ready for that responsibility,
Yeah.
and that's what I want the person who takes my daughter.
And I know I don't measure up
to be that, and
but
you never will.
But no, you can measure up if you work every day at trying.
Your father has been through more shit than this man has ever been through. Could even imagine going through. You know what I'm saying? In his generation. And being
what he did to come across the border and everything.
There's no way that he could ever go through that amount of shit.
Right.
But what he could do is
right. That's where I was going. Yeah.
He could provide and lead by example.
Right.
As, you know what I'm saying?
Because
following footsteps.
He will never have to cross a border. He was born on this side. He will never have to deal with the not having water to drink.
And I'll never have the work ethic of an immigrant Mexican.
But what you could do is show the reasons why he did what he did to get to where he is now.
And I feel like I do. I am a provider.
Yeah.
Through and through.
100%.
I'm a provider, which is a good example for my
credit score of 850. That's higher than the fucking legal credit score.
I wish.
Fucking guy, this guy.
I told you I have a black credit score.
Don't you fucking listen.
I'm
offended.
I have a 614.
God damn it. I can't be offended no more. I got a 615.
Exactly. I got a black credit score.
God damn it.
You're beating me. You're more whiter than I am.
This motherfucker. I got a 615, bro.
You white boy?
I'm back up at 629. My credit's better than yours, but it's because of your credit limit. You've been using it.
I'm pissed off.
So who's really the blender?
No, fuck you. Fuck you.
But yeah, no, I thought about that. I was like, damn, like right now, just like how many dads do you have? Damn, you're the only one, and that just dawned on me because no matter how good of a dad you are, no matter how present you are, no matter how that man is in that home,
there's an expiration date on being a dad. And that's
what you mean?
The sad truth that nigga, we all gotta die.
Yeah.
We all gotta die.
And that's when you gotta hope that you can die after they're already grown.
That's what I'm saying.
Like even right now, God forbid,
to the point to where like you've embedded enough stuff in
Bruh,
their brain.
That's what I'm saying.
If
Like,
my
God
parents
forbid.
died right now, I'd still be as lost as I would at fucking 5 years old.
Well, for
because
sure,
I still have a lot of growing to do and learning to do from them. And
well, no,
that?
I think what you're trying to say is like I know if my mom, if my parents, God forbid, died anytime soon, it's the realization of
you ain't got nobody to run to.
Nobody to fall back on.
Yeah.
So would you guys be able to handle if your parents were to go tomorrow?
No,
it would be hard for me to lose my mom.
I told him, I was like, the moment my dad goes, you're gonna have to give me a long moment. Like I'm gonna have to hop back on my medication type of shit. Because that man taught me everything. That man gave me my value. Without him, and
without a Javier, there's no Lupe.
Yeah, and it sucks that they had me so old. I'm 30 and my parents are 73 and 70. I don't have much time left with them. I won't even be 50 probably by the time I'm burying my parents. God forbid. But I can't even say God forbid because in 10 years my dad will be 83 and I will be 40. My mom will be.
Well, we've had
80.
the conversation. Like, do you think even my parents aren't in the best health, but do you think your kids will make it? Do you think your parents will make it to your kids' high school graduation?
I don't think so. I think they'll watch Mateo. I don't know about Luca.
I think Barbara Baps. I think she'll be all right. This is one of the most health conscious people that I've fucking met in my life.
Oh, really?
Babs is in a great shape. She looks great.
100%.
The fact that she chose that road towards like the losing weight and getting back into the routine.
I need to get back on my shit.
It wasn't too soon, but it wasn't too late.
It wasn't too late. Exactly.
How old is she?
Literally.
She has to be in her 50s.
She's 50-something, right?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl is 56, so she is 56.
She's as old as the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. My mom just turned 59. And my mom is not in the best health. Me personally,
But your mom also went through different struggles than my mom did.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I've said that
For
many,
sure.
many times.
Absolutely.
My dad
And
could
that
have.
works.
For sure.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
My dad could have jumped porters and worked in fields and done all these things, but he didn't bear 6 children. He didn't work, and ever since he was a child, he didn't have to deal with the mental strain, the physical strain, and the emotional strain of raising children all alone. While he was over here providing for them, but my mom had to deal with being a single mother through 5 children.
But you got to think, stress does take a lot of life off of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Imagine the stress of a man. I don't know what he was going through over here. I don't know the stresses he was dealing with.
He was chilling. He would go to work for.
But
He said it himself. He's had it easier than my mom.
I always, when I hear stories like this, I always think when it comes to the stress part, I think it's more stressful to be a mother who has to deal with other people's stress than to be a father
and just to worry about making money,
own stress,
and making money,
and just deal with the everyday. And this is just, this is what I got to do.
Yep.
I know I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
I know I got to do this. I know I got to do that.
It's
mother's stress
because
is way more potent than a male stress.
For sure. For sure. I would say the older generation, our older generation, like the boomers and stuff, for sure, because there's usually the man just goes to work, the woman stays home, takes care of all the children. That the stay-at-home mom job is just never ending. You never clock out. That's a horrible stress in itself. I think now with our generation, well, I'm not gonna say our generation. I can speak for myself. I'm not a just go to work and come home type of person. Like, I come home, I'll clean, I'll bathe the kid, I'll do, you know what I mean? I'm not just a come home and work type of person.
I thought you said I'm going to come home all clean. Like you didn't have a, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing for 8 hours? Bro?
No, so I think our generation is different because the women also work. So it's 2 parents working. And I've even seen, I've read a thing that said basically that was the country's plan was to divide the household.
No, the plan was to divide the high school and make.
For the black man, 100%.
For the lower class, for sure.
But for the black man, more.
It really was. It really was built around
everything
because
negative is to take down the black man.
No, because they were realizing that a household where the woman was at home, where there was a parent at home and a parent working, they were making stronger children, more educated children, more everything. And
so
it was
they had
usually
to get both of them to go to work.
Black people, it was the colored people that were
because
staying at
if you
home.
really think about it, if you think of an independent woman, you think of a black woman. The black women embody independence.
That's what they try to push on the public.
Yeah. Yep.
So they could do that.
They could divide the home. They could have now the men having no comfort, no nothing. So now they have to go look for it in the street.
Women saying that they're independent women is actually
anti-feminist.
Yep.
It's anti-everything.
Yeah. It's anti-family. It's anti.
Yeah, like you look at it as this strong like suit of armor, but it's realistically it's a weakness.
You were trained and you were made to believe that was armor you were supposed to wear.
And like we said, it's mostly the black women.
To do a callback to a previous joke.
Yep.
But it's not a joke now. But that's sheeple.
Yep.
Yeah. Because realistically, look at it.
Yep.
Black women. Independent women, Mexican women are
dependent. Mostly
Mexican women are
mostly
basically
dependent.
Servants, damn near.
Yeah, we're mostly dependent on our income,
and then white women stay at home,
which is our disconnect sometimes. You know, because I am raised to.
It's our cultures that are different. I was raised with a mom I was raised by a woman. I had a stepdad who was not there most of the time.
I read somewhere. And I don't know if I read this or if I heard it from somebody. I could have fucking did both. But nonetheless, something told me that white women, when they were younger and in fucking basically when the times were back then, white women, the only way that they can make their point known was to become sexually available.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like so they were, their power was held in their sexuality.
Exactly. To where black women.
But what do you mean though? I don't get it.
Okay, so look, picture Game of Thrones.
I don't
he doesn't watch that. No, he's pretty much saying that we all have our own roles. Like Mexican women are to be kept, the black women are to be independent, and the white women were only used for sex.
That's what it was. Like basically when you look at Game of Thrones, like when it comes to olden times and they talk about the women and they're trying to get a point across, they will send the women over there to fucking sexually gratify who they're trying to do.
Well, that's what they're saying.
You know
like when that's why before a fight, boxers can't have sex. Because, you know,
is that why back in the day white women were like the sex symbols? It was the real skinny, no body having ass bitches, because black women had curves, they had ass, they had titties.
I don't know. I don't know if that was the point. I don't know if that was the point or if that was even the direction that they were going. But what the point that I'm trying to make is that when white women in white society was to make their point across or to picture it as valued as anything like that, they had to go fuck with, you know what I'm saying, whoever was the person that they were trying to get that point across. And like in Game of Thrones, I know you ain't never seen it, but when they wanted to make a point, they would send the women over there and they would be sexually, you know what I'm saying, the ones to sexually gratify the person that they were trying to do. Compared to the black women, the African women, nigga, they would argue their point. They, you know what I'm saying, they husband stood by them as far as the muscle and the, you know what I'm saying, their point. That's why what kind of, all right, picture.
I was like, he hasn't watched Black Panther.
Fuck, he hasn't, bro. This fucking guy. In Black Panther, the black women in Black Panther, bro, them motherfuckers was warriors.
Yeah.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Compared to any other kingdom, white kingdom shit that you know what I'm saying, picture.
So that falls into what we're talking about.
Exactly.
That the households were divided for certain ways and the women's play roles and everything, and the black women have always been strong, like, you know what I mean, just because that's just what they've been. The society has made them be, and white women have had it as easy as, let me do this and that for you, and you can do me a little favor. Yeah, you know what I mean, like, and they can get along, they can get away with it and not be called whores.
Yeah, she'll twirl your balls and you make a few calls. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and they weren't looked down upon because it's just, you know, colorism and classism, and they were trying to make it a fucking point to assign rules to everybody.
And I think that's where America, like, or maybe they didn't, because I honestly get to a point where I think America doesn't do anything by accident.
They don't.
They tried to do everything by classes. We're gonna make the blacks the lower class. We're gonna make the immigrant Mexicans the lower class.
Even just the blacks.
And and it didn't work out that way, because it turned out to be
we're the greatest.
Me, the white kid that grew up in the Mexican and black neighborhoods.
No, it's let's not make it about you. It's just more.
No, I'm not saying me personally. I'm just saying there's
but I've noticed that like the white kids that are raised in minority neighborhoods wear that. Well, not only that, they wear it as like a fucking badge of honor, and it's like,
word.
You know what I mean? Like, I was raised in the hood. I don't know white privilege. I was and it's like, bruh, because you've been trained to believe that because you were raised in the fucking hood, you're not white enough. No, bruh, because if you go make money and you go move in the burbs, you're white again.
Speaking for his behalf and me knowing him as long as I know him, that ain't the case at all. That ain't the case at all.
Put that motherfucker in a burb and let him get used to it, and like his neighbors, he's going to be the whitest motherfucker out there. Will he be slapping still Tupac and all this other shit? Sure. Nothing might change inside of him, but he's still going to be like...
None of his growing up was his fault.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
but like
because of the how can I say this without putting it out there? The disease that was growing up in the people that was supposed to guide him in the right way caused him to be in the situation that he was.
In reality, yeah, but at the same time, he had a choice. His father could have taken him out.
There's no way. He didn't have a choice. You just said it. His father had a choice.
Could have.
Right.
His father had a choice.
Could have.
He did not have no choice. He did not have no choice.
I mean, realistically, I don't know. I had a job at 16. He didn't have a job until 18.
That's
you know what I mean?
You were provided with different resources.
Or because I wanted to go look for one.
No, well, you had a job that your brother was working there. He got you in. I couldn't get a job nowhere.
Okay, well, nobody got him there.
But he had a father. You had a father in your life. You had somebody to give you direction. You had somebody, all of that shit. He wasn't blessed with that shit. The lady that was supposed to point him in the right direction and lead him in the way was battling her own shit. You cannot compare lives like that. And I'm not trying to get on you in any kind of way.
And I never was trying to compare his life. I'm just saying, once you take them people that are wearing the badge of honor that they were raised in the hood, out the hood, when they're white, they will gladly turn into who they wanted to be whenever they need it. I'm not saying him exactly. I'm just saying the people, because I've been hearing a lot of white kids saying, "Oh," and they're and they say it perfectly fine, making hundreds and 6-figure fucking incomes and all this shit because they were able to get themselves.
Most white people that was raised in the hood, it's not their fault.
And I get that. That's what I'm saying.
No, she's saying if you took me to the burbs, like I would blend in and I'd be cool with like the neighbors.
Absolutely
I'm like,
not.
I hate it.
Absolutely
I've lived in nice neighborhoods
not.
and I absolutely hate it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
I
not.
would prefer to make 100,000 and still live
crazy.
in not so great neighborhood.
That's fucking crazy. Because it's like, why wouldn't you want to adapt to what you should have already been receiving if your mother would have made the right choices to guide you?
To me.
Because that's exactly that.
That's foreign.
But that's what you were always looking forward to, no? When you were in the dumps, weren't you wishing you were living in that house? Weren't you wishing you were making the 6 figures? Weren't you wishing you had?
But he wasn't though. But he wasn't though. And the point is, he had to deal with the cards that he was dealt, not the cards that he wanted, the cards that he was dealt.
Yeah, and it should have made him a bigger, stronger person. It should have given him like the fucking
right, which means that the people that grew up in the suburbs, I don't got nothing to fucking relate to.
I have nothing in common with those people.
I have nothing in common with them.
That's why when I lived in Livermore, I was friends with all the black kids and the Mexicans because
I have nothing. I
relate to these people. I don't relate to anyone from Livermore. Yeah. I've literally done it. I had no white friends like whatsoever.
For sure.
I don't know. I guess I don't know because I grew up in fucking Eastside Stockton my whole life, and the moment I got a taste of Linden, I was like, that's where I need to be. Right. These are my people. This is where I belong. Right,
but you also didn't grow up poverty stricken either.
Exactly.
So it's
your daddy was there. You just
lived in the hood. You didn't live the hood life type shit. You know, you didn't live with the struggles of the ghetto.
I don't know welfare. I didn't know welfare.
Right. You just lived in the ghetto pretty much. That's where you reside at. So Linden is more up your alley because you not saying you come from money, but you come from a family that wasn't poor.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah, see that right there, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that's a biased way of looking at things. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I came from not where he came from, but same circumstance, you know what I'm saying? But I also heard about and not necessarily came from, but dealt with a person who came from type of upbringing. And it's really different. I couldn't tell you about being no family person and no, you know what I'm saying, everybody's in the house and we're having traditional this and traditional that. We couldn't tell you about that because our upbringing was different.
Well, it's kind of like how they say like the hunger isn't the same. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you can't.
The only common denominator that I can point out in this whole situation, you had Pops there every single step of the way.
Yeah.
This man, not so much.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm saying. He was raised on survival. I was raised on like just privilege. Yeah.
Privilege.
And those two lifestyles. And I've told them this before. I'm like, that's one of the major fucking things that we always have we will never see eye to eye when it comes to dealing with certain things because I'm always
why is that? I would actually love to get into this because I have opinions on both ends.
Yeah.
So I would why is it that you don't feel like you can see it from his point of view? Or if that's the question, I don't know if that's the question.
Well,
why is it that y'all can't see eye to eye?
It's because of the emotions he carries, because of the scars he's had to heal from, the wounds that he's had to heal from. So when I'm like, I can just call my dad. or well, I can just do this, or we can just go here, or my family does this, and he's just like, no, what the fuck? I'm not calling nobody. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm like, why the fuck do you want to struggle so goddamn bad?
She says my pride gets in the way.
Like, why the fuck do you want to struggle so bad if we don't have to
rely on?
Yeah, that's
like, why can't we just fucking call my dad? He's like, because I don't want to. I don't want him to fucking think that.
Because it's your dad, so I look like I'm not doing my thing as a man.
And as a man, growing up the way we have, that's all you motherfucking aspire to be.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we don't see eye to eye, because I'm constantly like, I'm not used to struggling. I don't like to struggle. Why the fuck are you making me struggle right now? Why are you making me go through something that I don't need to be going through?
See, I'm so torn in between this because I feel where he's coming from, but I also want my daughter to grow up like this. And to be like, I'm going to call my dad.
Right.
If nothing else fails, I'm going to call my dad.
That's what we said about our kids. We want them to, for us to be their first call.
But I also feel him because when Naima get into situations and it's like, fuck, we got to wait for so long. But her dad could do it right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, don't call him, bro. And because he going to ask, well, why can't such and such do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck, bro, I can, but... This is that. So I respect it. Yeah. I respect where he's coming from, but I also respect where you coming from.
Yeah. From a father's point of view, you wouldn't want your daughter to struggle in a position where all she has to do is call you. But as a man, you see it as like, fuck. Well, at the same time, I wouldn't want her man to feel any less than because she's calling me. Exactly. But you just answered it. Don't make it a fucking problem. Don't start asking why so-and-so couldn't do it. Sure. Of course. We all go through hard times. No worries. Don't hesitate to call next time.
But also, it's also in the delivery. And
that's what I'm saying.
And how you make him feel about why and how you're calling your dad.
And a lot of that thing has to do with his own choices that he already feels bad about making, and he knows that it has put us in that position. So when I do want to resolve the problem and it isn't the way that it only involves us, then he finds it an issue. But it's like, bruh, we got here... And then he flips it and it's like, well, if you made enough money, blah, 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 we wouldn't have to be in this position. If you made as much as I did, we wouldn't have to worry about if I lost my job tomorrow. And I'm just like,
well, I don't say that. I don't say it like that.
That's the stresses of being a man, though.
And I understand it. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck? How did this get fucking flipped on me? When you want to take it all,
because when he lashes out, you got to take it into consideration to be like, okay, when I lash out,
he doesn't understand me.
No, we're not talking about his reactions. Because you got to think. You don't understand why he reacted like that.
No, I do, because of the way he was upbrought and his whatever, beliefs it is and how he wants to feel.
Right, but you also got it in your heart that as a man, this shouldn't be a problem for you.
I don't know. Like, and he gets irritated about this too, because I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, I will always call my dad for anything.
Nonetheless,
and he doesn't like that.
The point I'm trying to make is just like when you get into your modes and where you're like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? And you have those outbursts to where you know what I'm saying? You got it.
Stresses.
Like, it's stress, you know what I'm saying? And you say shit that you don't mean. Men go through that shit too.
But I don't fault him for my decisions, is what I'm saying. Like, when I'm going through my own shit, I'm like, oh, well, fuck, if you just da-da-da-da-da, like, no.
But I'm sure, and I'm gonna take a piece from my reality and put it into here, and you can tell me if it fits or not. But like, when there's situations to where like you're just emotionally fucking overwhelmed, and then he says something, and then it's just basically the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he basically taken everything that, you know what I'm saying, was meant for everybody else, but it's directed at him type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've told her that before.
So in that sense, you got to take that same aspect and be like, maybe he's doing that in your sense to where like he's taking everything that he's dealt with for today and the shit that you done said.
I get that, but I have a solution to his problem. He don't got solutions to mine. He just likes to harp on the fact that I gave him attitude and that I lashed out on him when it wasn't directed to him.
What's the solution?
Me calling my damn dad and figuring it the fuck out.
But that affects him egotistically.
And that's his ego. Like, that's fucked up to run on your ego.
But he's also the man that you're expecting to lead your house and to lead, you know what I'm saying, and to be in the position to be the leader of something. So, of course,
and that's a position and a thought he gave me to believe. I was brought into, every relationship I get into, my father has always told me not to depend on a man. And I've never depended on a man until I met him. Every single fucking relationship I was in. But at the same time,
you couldn't unless you...
But at that point, it's no longer your fault. It's no longer your fault. If Pops already instilled that in her head,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I've told her before. I was like, the way her brother would, because her brother would take her to Tiffany's and like all these upscale things, and I was like, your brother ruined you for men.
Absolutely. And I both know where we came from, bro.
Men have told him that, because I remember one time we were at the restaurant that we both worked at, and he had just bought me a brand new bracelet from Tiffany's, and his friends were like, oh my God, let me see your bracelet, blah, blah, and I'm showing him my bracelet, and his friend's husband is like, how old is she? And he was like 16. And he was like, you're 16 and you already have a Tiffany's?
You're fucked.
He was like, good fucking luck finding a husband. He was like, why the fuck would you do that? He was like, you already know the fucking bar is high enough, and now you're going to set that shit at 16 for her? Mm-hmm. He was like, good luck finding a husband.
And I feel like I said that about 3 minutes ago about setting the bar. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But that's why I got a daughter. Yeah. I'm spoiling her with every fucking thing that she could ask for. And I don't give a fuck if she wanted a goddamn sea lion.
And that's what I've told her. I was like, there's nothing. Your dad and your brother did nothing wrong. They did what they should have done. They 100%. Set an expectation of men
100%
that there's nothing wrong with.
The thing
me
is,
as a person, I got fucked in the situation.
100%.
But at the same time,
and every woman who's raising a man or a kid who's going to grow up to be a man in the era that you are, you fucked up. You might as well just go ahead and I mean no disrespect when I say this, might as well go ahead and walk past that.
Because literally, and her brother has said that. She's like, why do you keep getting with people that come from nothing?
Yeah, walk past that, bro.
Yeah, because and everybody has a price tag. If you can't afford me, keep walking, because there's going to be a man that will be able to afford me. And there's many men.
The fucked up thing is that she settled on. I'm probably the poorest person she's ever been with. When she met me, I wasn't poor.
Don't ever discredit yourself like that,
motherfucker. At
all. I'm your motherfucking brother, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not a poor motherfucker in your goddamn life. Nigga.
At
you
all.
goddamn value family. You goddamn value people who goddamn around you and do for you. And you make money and you get up every day to go get that money, motherfucker, to provide for your family. Don't ever call yourself poor.
Exactly.
Ever in your fucking life. Do you hear me?
Well, before.
No. Fuck that. Fuck that, bro. All of that shit was a growth. We were growing.
Literally.
We were learning this shit and we were growing, my nigga.
We're still growing now.
Bro. Exactly.
We don't even know where the fuck we're going to be in that. For all we know, in our 50s, we're going to be owning a fat ass house. You do not know what the fuck can happen from now until...
Don't ever in your fucking life discourage yourself like that, bro. Yeah. And I'm telling you that as your fucking brother, bro.
Yeah.
And I tell him that all the time. I was like, just because you think I have this expectation of you, I don't have shit for you.
Well, because we'll have the conversation. She'll be like, this isn't it for me. And I'm like, I didn't think that was gonna never come thought I would achieve this.
Oh, that's where the disconnect is. Because like you said, I was raised technically in the burb money, but in the hood, right? Because my dad made good money. My mom also worked.
I've seen the houses you grow up in. I've seen the neighborhood. You were definitely from the hood.
Right. But there was income in the hood. You know what I mean? And so
because it was a hard worker.
In the family. Yeah, right, because my dad didn't.
What the fuck you are.
Exactly.
I like to think so.
And I tell him that all the time.
I know so. This whole shit, and I don't mean to be motherfucking goddamn tooting your horn, bro. This whole shit would be nothing if it wasn't for the goddamn brains and hard work of you. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, I tell him that all the fucking time. I'm like, we wouldn't be where we're at without your income and with your perseverance and wanting us to have a home. The reason why I have a home is because I asked you for it and you provided me with it. All I had to do was ask.
And that's family shit. I'm talking about the studio shit and the music that we had.
I know what you were talking about.
No, don't laugh.
I was like, I'm over here
laugh, because what you got,
yeah,
and what you're saying is way more important.
Yeah.
don't ever, bro, downplay yourself like that, bro. Don't ever in your life.
What he takes me as like pushing him, because I know how much he has in him. He takes it as me wanting more out of him and me trying to strain him dry and everything. And it's like, no, I just know what the fuck you're capable of. And sometimes when I see you slacking, I just got to remind you. And it all has to do with delivery. And we just had a conversation today. You just need to speak to me different. You know what I mean? He's like, we just need to communicate with each other differently, because all I want for you is to win. You might think that it's because I am this greedy little bitch that came from whatever, you know, and I'm just asking for more from you.
Shout out to Pops, bro, because he has some big shoes to fill. But you know what? That's just only
that's surface.
No, not only that, but that's just only aspirations to make you greater. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm only making him greater for his kids, so his kids could have the same thing as I did.
Exactly, because you know what? You got 2 boys. They got to lead by, they got to follow your example.
The
you know
fact that, and I tell Mateo all the time, I was like, if you don't want to go to college, get a trade like Daddy did. I was like, Daddy has his license. He can literally drive anything.
Look how he's providing for y'all.
Exactly.
That's the perfect example.
I look at it like this. What you're saying is perfect. Like I go out, I provide, I do what I need to do to provide, because they don't go without.
At all.
But at the same time, Luca...
You got variety pack Rice Krispie treats in your house.
Right. I got a fridge full of food. I didn't grow up with that. Bro. You know what I mean? So, and then I look at it like this. So I have the example of, this is what you do to be a man, quote unquote, and provide and do what you got to do. But at the same time, Luca, so I just started that bus job, right? He said, so he was on spring break and he's like, Daddy, how come when I stay home, you have to go to work? And I was like, I still get my disability, my workman's comp, right? So I'm like, I still have an income. So I'm like, I'm going to stay home. I don't need to go to work right now.
Jordan's face like, wait, hold up. That took a turn.
No, I'm making $4,600 on workman's comp a month. Why do I need to go to work? I'm missing out on a chance that I'm not going to have again.
100%.
I'm not going to be able to.
That's where I was going.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to have this opportunity for much longer. So let me. So to me, I'm like, I have it. I'm showing you that, yeah, you go out and you do what you need to do to survive and make money and you know all that shit.
But don't forget the importance
of
spending time with your people,
spending time with who you love.
Absolutely, and that's real. That's real. And you know what? My child just had fucking spring break, and I had to work. I had to work.
You had to work.
I had to work.
But if you were getting a paycheck
that you could live okay that you can live off of and pay your bills, you would also have taken that choice.
It's nice to get 2 paychecks.
100%.
Right.
It's nice to get 2 paychecks. But I can always make money.
100%.
I can't make
those moments
time to be with you.
And on top of that, his foot's still fucked up.
Yeah, my foot is really fucked up. It's not like I'm just out here being lazy.
So like that can also cause long-term damage that you're not allowing to heal. So why not take the fucking time that you already have and the opportunity to just stay home, let that fucking cyst heal on its own, continue getting whatever you need to get done to continue receiving your workman's comp, and until the moment that the cyst is either gone or they say, okay, you're finally cleared, like we literally can't do anything else for you.
You know what I just learned? You can get disability without getting workman's comp.
What do you mean?
So when I was out with my stroke, I wasn't getting workman's comp, but I was getting disability though.
Well, I get workman's comp because I got hurt on the job. You didn't get hurt on the job.
Right. So even if,
if they cut me off?
No. All right. I'm not gonna lie, this is a selfish thought. But if something was happening to me on the job and they drug test me and they was like, you've been smoking weed, we can't provide for you. I can still get disability
because you got hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not able to work, so you can get disability.
Yeah.
So even if your workman's comp gets cut off,
I can sign up for disability.
You can sign up for disability because it's like you literally can't work.
So my bad. I just had that fucking epiphany now.
Yeah.
But disability ain't gonna pay me $1,300 a week.
No.
They're gonna pay you $860. Yeah.
Shit, I was getting $1,200.
Oh, there you go.
Were you?
Shit.
Oh.
Disability is 60% of your income.
I was getting $1,200.
Workman's 80.
Workman's comp. So workman's comp's not paying me bad because I was making $2,000 a week, like $2,300 a week, something like that, and they put me down to 13 because of the ratio of whatever the fuck they add up.
Yeah, it's 80% out of your income. And
the only reason why I've been scared of workman's comp is because I smoke.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I'm saying?
You got to keep that thing on you.
Listen.
Take a shot. you got to keep that thing on you.
Man, because that's one thing that I'm in fear of. It's like, my job is cool, but God forbid I lose this shit, and I'm trying to, what? I think I got to drive home.
He's waiting for his shot. He says, "Yo, you only pour him your own, and then
I'm gonna pour myself another one."
I gotta drive home, but you've had more shots than me.
Oh shit!
Okay, I don't know how that evens out.
I was like, he poured you with all the shots he has.
I don't know how that evens out.
I thought you wanted to match up.
Yeah,
that's not a match. That's like Andre the Giant versus fucking Rey Mysterio.
No.
And
that's real life because call me Andre. Ray.
Oh my god.
Oh, Ray. Hey, Lupe. What does Ray mean?
King.
Thank you.
What's Andre mean? Beast.
Does it?
No, it doesn't.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound right.
Andre Hicks, Beast. Andre the Giant, Beast. Andre, whatever Dr. Dre's last name is, Beast.
But Ray means king, right?
Mm.
And that's factual, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Luca,
So
Ray.
let's go ahead and right, exactly. Speaking of, what's that? King what? King Lucas?
No, it's Luca King.
Luca King Luca.
It's not Lucas.
So Luca doesn't. Luca doesn't have a meaning in Spanish. Okay.
No, Luca's an Italian name, and it's like Golden Boy or something.
Yeah, Lucas does, but
no, Luca.
Like she'll have some of her uncles be like,
Lucas.
"Oh, Lucas." It's not Luca. It's not Lucas. It's Luca. All I know is Luca means Brasi, and Brasi
that's
kills.
Right. He's a bringer of light.
A bringer of light?
Yeah, so he's the king of light, basically.
This fabulous meaning is rather fitting as a young child is so often your own shining light. In Italy, Luca. Oh, in Italy, Luca is often given to boys because it means light.
I went into that shot thinking I had Coke.
Oh,
do you know? A lot of headaches. Brain tumor.
That actually scares me a lot because I get headaches.
But you have a previous condition, which could also because of the trauma.
But you get headaches because of the stroke?
No, I don't think so. I get
this before the
stroke.
Okay,
so look. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is one thing that I will admit to the world, bro. Like when I lay on my back and I look straight up, bro,
you get dizzy.
This motherfucker starts spinning, bro.
You got vertigo?
I think that's what it is. I think it's your equilibrium's off, which is basically vertigo.
I feel like it's
because of the brain injury, because you had blood in your brain. It was a brain bleed, pretty much, right?
But I feel like it's fluid that like moves. You know how you got a leveler and you got that air bubble that moves. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's equilibrium. What it is. Because I sit up. Like right now I'm cool, but like if I was to lay straight back and put my head up,
so you can't lay on your back.
It's over with. If I lay on my back, bro, it's over with, bro. And it's not even like to where I'm like, you know what I'm saying, sick. I gotta sit up, bro. But I try to fight through it. And when I do, on the times that I do fight through it, bro, it passes. You know what I'm saying? And it's normal. But
it's not constant. As long as you're on your back, it's not constant.
No, it's not a constant. It's just you know what I'm saying? But like,
so is it like a drunk dizzy?
I'm lying. It is a constant. If I lay on my back, it will keep going to where I have to sit up and roll to my side.
Yeah, so if you lay on the couch watching TV, you'll be cool. But if you lay down on the couch and look straight at the ceiling,
straight up, it's over.
Okay,
it's over.
That sucks.
Yeah, I would definitely get that checked.
And
out.
it's like
and I'm supposed to.
But it's probably because of
in like 3 years now, 2 years.
You should just because of the injury you had, just like a yearly checkup. You know what I mean? Because God forbid, maybe it didn't fully heal internally. God forbid. You know what I mean? Like that's something now
or
that
maybe
being
you
you
just
have
need medication but
now that you have but now that you have medical,
no,
I would recommend going once a year just for a checkup, maybe a physical or
So I got my appointment on the 25th.
There you go.
Your point. Pills, hard pass.
That's what I tell her all the time.
I don't fuck with pills.
That's what I told her all the time about my ankle.
That's my best thing right there. I do
then
not
start
fuck with
eating
pills.
edibles or something, because realistically, weed doesn't help you with the fucking bonding of your cells in your brain.
I will
It's
say
the leaf
this
that's
though.
not helping you.
It doesn't matter. Weed too, smoke it. It's different. You try like some liquids.
You need to buy a vaporizer.
Vape, like not a fucking
not
vape,
a vape pen, like a vaporizer
like a
with the bag and shit.
vaporizer.
I was like, shit, I'm finna go to the cannabis club right now.
Like a vape with the bag.
Yeah,
that's the healthiest way to smoke.
Yeah, it's the cleanest smoke, and like
sure.
that,
because it sucks
I'm just
everything
saying,
out.
Like if you're saying weed is like the health, like the way that you cope with your health instead of like for pain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Try and use like other forms of
I
it.
did take a pain pill that Naima gave me because I ain't gonna lie. When I was at work yesterday or the day before, fucking stepped wrong, my knee. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker did
You're
some
30
kind of
now.
wiggle
Welcome
shit.
to the club.
Listen,
31.
That shit.
You
bro,
kneel down and you can hear your knees pop when you get up.
And you know what I think it was? I think it was the little, you know what I'm saying, the little skirt into the fucking bush.
Ooh, you hit it against the fucking thing,
That's
probably.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like I bopped it,
Yeah.
but me being like so
Focused on everything else,
Quick
you didn't
question.
even
Think about
realize.
it.
Quick
Exactly.
question. Not and
Because when I get in car accidents,
don't take it insulting.
When I get in car accidents, I won't feel certain things until after, and I'm like,
Well,
what
Well,
the fuck did I
that's
hit?
adrenaline though. That's
Exactly.
adrenaline.
And that's what I think it was.
But my question is, how close are you?
To what?
The front,
Everything.
the fucking wheel.
So have you driven a box truck with the engine under the truck instead of in the front? So the
No.
square front
It's
bus.
right there, like
A
the
bus.
square is right here, right, and then
Yeah.
there's like another thing here.
The engine is under me.
right?
No, I haven't driven those.
No. So basically that's where I was. It was
Yeah.
this much space
Yep.
in between knee.
So your knee's
and
right on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. My knee is
So when
actually
you hit, that's what it is.
Yep.
That's what I thought. But even right now, my knee fucking golden. This oh shit.
What the fuck is wrong with your hiccup?
God damn, I don't know.
He got phlegm in his throat.
That's like an asthmatic hiccup.
Oh shit. Whew. But no, this asthmatic. I mean, god damn it, fuck this fucking pain pill that
asthmatic.
Naima gave me. This motherfucker, bro. Listen,
that
this is
Norco or
going
something?
on. I don't know what it is,
was
but this
Tramadol.
is going on 28 hours.
Oh, it was Tramadol.
See, I don't do pills because she'll tell me, like, you know what I mean? You heard her.
I've known you for a lot of years. I know you don't fuck with pills.
And it's not that my body doesn't take pills well, and I don't like what pills do to your body.
Yeah, and it's not fun to watch you throw up.
No.
It's not fun.
No.
Well,
It's,
the only
it's
reason
a huge rejection. It's like asking a hot girl out and you don't have the right jeans on. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
because I told him, I'm like, when my back, like I learned with pain management, your brain receives receptors every time you're in pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do anything about it, your brain goes into
It psychologically fucks you.
it psychologically fucks with you when you're in so much pain. And then your brain is in constant healing mode, which is then why you're always so fucking tired, which is why you're always in a shitty ass mood, because your brain is focusing on just healing that pain, when all you have to do is take a fucking ibuprofen every 6 months every 6 hours, because you know what's wrong with it. You know there's a fucking cyst right there. So just do it until the cyst gets better, because you're not allowing your brain to allow your body to heal that fucking cyst anyways. What kind of fucking cough was that?
Yeah, I don't know if you're coughing or laughing.
Sounds like a fucking card that I don't want to start.
You remember when Kane first came out in WWF? How he talked with that fucking thing? This is all I heard.
I was going fuck. I don't even remember what I was going to say. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, like.
But it's true though, because your brain is always in
defense mode, technically.
Yeah, defense mode against your body.
Because it's like something's wrong.
But you mindfully know what's wrong with it, so take the pills. But my thing is, what the pills do to your organs in the long run,
100%.
I don't want.
I'm so scared to get on dialysis for my kidneys, bro, that it does not make sense.
And kidney problems run in my family.
Okay, so if you're going to have an ibuprofen, drink 2 glasses of water. It will help flush it where it needs to go.
For me to take a pain pill, I have to be in unbearable pain. If I can bear the pain, I don't need it.
Bullshit, because I've seen you experience. I've seen you go through that ankle pain. I've seen you hurt your ankle on camera, and fucking hurt it to the point of like, I'm almost crying. Nothing.
This he's explained to you he got a fucking pallet jack ran over his foot. Still drove from fucking Hayward to Oakland
in traffic jam.
The second episode of the Out the Box podcast is called Raw Dogging Life.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, that might be the realest title that we've had of this whole shit.
Yeah, Raw Dogging
because
Life.
That's exactly what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, when I get a fucking any kind of shit, I get a nick. My fucking fingernail is hurting.
Paper cut.
You know why that is though?
I'm like,
you know why that is? Because we smoke weed. Our body is in no pain, so when we don't have that in us, everything hurts us.
Or is it because like how?
Wait! I want to hear more of this.
Yeah,
Speak on it.
Because we're in pain, we smoke weed. We have a headache, we smoke weed. If something's wrong, we smoke weed. Our brain is like, you need to smoke weed to make it better. So
realistically, instead of taking pills, you're smoking.
So unless we're smoking weed, we're not gonna feel better. We can take an ibuprofen, we can take a Tylenol, we can do all this shit, and it might help, but it ain't gonna work until we smoke weed, right?
Damn.
You take a Tylenol and then you smoke a blunt.
Sense.
Oh my God!
You do take medicine. You don't raw dog nothing.
Just saying.
Because
my therapist told me that,
and then you sit here and think about it, because like, so when we watched a documentary on the circumcisions and stuff, right? There's kids that come after they get.
Bruh, we watched a whole documentary on circumcision.
You guys are psychopathic people.
This is why Luca's not circumcised.
Yeah, before we had Luca, man, we were taking I was already a parent for 3 years, but we took parenting.
So check it out
all over again.
So my mom has said that when I came back from my circumcision, I was not crying. In the documentary, it says that kids who come back not crying is they left their brain. They're not even in the body at all. They dissociate.
You shouldn't learn how to dissociate at 2 days old, but that's how big of a shock.
But because your body as an infant, as a 2-day-old infant, you're not supposed to endure that stress. Your body doesn't know how to handle that.
Been there, done that, and I think I'm the reason for the prescription. Because.
But here's my thing. So when that pallet jack ran over my foot,
he dissociated.
My foot came out. I mean, my shoe came off and everything. My foot's cut up from the wheel spinning and everything.
You make it sound way graphic than what it is.
No, that's what it was.
Okay.
Ripped my sock, everything. Like it fucked my foot up.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So I sat there and I was like, fuck, I think it might be broke. And I'm literally sitting there and I'm like, okay.
What do I do now?
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I don't know if you call it shock. I don't know what you call it. I'm just sitting there. The lady comes out of her car and runs up to me and asks if I'm okay. In my head, the first thing that popped in my head was, she's going to ask to fucking help me.
And I'm going to tell her no.
Oh my God.
So literally, this is the thought process. I was like, she's going to fucking ask to help me up. I need to put my shoe on.
So she doesn't think anything's wrong.
So she doesn't think nothing's wrong with me, and I need my shoe on in order to walk. She helped me up. I grabbed my pallet jack, took the fucking shit inside the garage, finished my job, told the dude, because then I felt the color flush out of my body. At this point, I feel like the shock has went away. So I'm like, fuck. I told the dude, I was like, I need some water.
Or you realize that it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
No, I could barely walk. So I grabbed my pallet jack. I walk it over. I limp it over. take a water out of his store. Do everything I need to do. Getting the paperwork, getting the check, getting everything. Take the pallet jack back into the truck. Put the ramp up. Take the ramp down. Fold the bitch up. Load it up. Shut the door. All that shit. Get into the truck. Now I got to drive the truck to Oakland. Granted, this is my driving foot.
But this is why he...
So I think I dissociate instead of pills. I just dissociate from everything.
It's not his fault that he's like this because these are the cards life has given him. You know, he went into shock since the second day he was born. You know, once he got fucking circumcision. He couldn't cry anymore. Then his mom wasn't, like you said, didn't guide him through life. Was she there to comfort him when he cried? Who knows?
Wasn't quite nurturing.
Right. So he doesn't know what it's like to be comforted. He doesn't know how to be nurtured. He doesn't know how to ask for help. He doesn't know how to show his feelings. I'm going to deal with
it on my own. Leave me alone.
Right. And then, 100%. But within that same breath, little Daniel was like, where the fuck are you going? Why aren't you helping me? And then that's when it comes out in different ways, how you were saying. When the stress of life finally falls on you and you no longer can take it as an adult. So little Daniel is like, bruh, ask for help. And then he's like, I'm not fucking asking for help. I've never needed help. Shut up. You know, and it's like it's a constant fight within.
Yeah, I've told him many times. I'm like, I might make it look real peachy on the outside, but it's a non-stop internal battle within myself.
Turmoil.
This is why we stream your music.
This is why they stream your music.
This is why we stream your music, bro. Because we fucking know.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
You just have the power to put into words what we're feeling.
That's your purpose. To be
and
able
that's
to
what I
put
told her.
it
I was like,
words.
the music I listen to, and you can vouch for me. The music I've listened to is always something emotional music. It makes you feel some type of way. And I know what music did for me growing up. I want to be that person for whoever needs it. That's always been my thought process of music. So, like I tell people, I've told her, if there's someone out there singing my song, I accomplished it. If there's one person, I accomplished what I came here to do.
For sure.
Like that TikTok. If so-and-so has one fan, it's me. If he has no fans, it's because I'm dead. You know what I mean? Like as long as he got one person out there slapping his shit and he's good, he's satisfied, that person is getting what he desired that person to get out of him making his music.
And you know what's terrible? And I'm gonna try to end it on this note, but the fact that we based our value in life on the views and the streams and the motherfucking opinions of other people.
That's my biggest downfall. The opinion of other people. Woo! Boy, if you ask me what is my biggest fucking downfall, I would say the opinion of other people, how other people view me.
I gotta say I'm doing something right.
And this is just, you know what I mean?
Of all time since 2018, I've accomplished 43.2 thousand streams.
That's 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I respect
That's almost
that.
10,000 a year.
No, but listen, the fact that there's no promotion
at all,
no motherfucking
this is all on your
cosign,
own. Yeah,
no motherfucking views of anybody's opinion other than your own.
Mm-hmm.
You should highly take in regard of what you're doing.
Yeah,
100%. Again, I don't mean to be riding on motherfucking coattails, but dog, you my brother, bro. Don't ever downplay your shit like you ain't doing nothing. Because I know for a fact, nigga, if it wasn't for you, nigga, I wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, where this shit, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at with this shit that I am, bro. And I'm not nowhere. But nonetheless, my nigga, I'm farther than where I'll be on my own. So stop playing yourself, you know what I'm saying, with you know what I'm saying?
And I feel like that's a big part of why he doesn't.
I feel like music's the only thing I've ever done right.
But I feel like you stop yourself from, because of that mentality, from like doing more. and accomplishing more because he thinks this is all he can do.
You have another human being in this world. You have another human being in this world. Not too many people can say that. Plenty of people can say that, but not too many people can say that.
Yeah.
You have another you in this world.
Yeah.
You're crazy, bro. If you didn't,
you're welcome. Just kidding. I was just the vessel.
Fuck all that, bro. Because if it wasn't no you involved in it, it wouldn't be no him. But what I'm saying is, you have another vessel to motherfucking
mold and guide and
pursue into your fucking image. Even though he gonna get his own, and if you know what I'm saying, if you're anything like me, I like to let her be her own person.
Yeah.
I just try to sprinkle a little game into there.
Yeah.
You all right, bro. If you didn't do nothing right in your world, bro, you did that right.
For sure.
Because you got that.
Well, by the fact that he's making
him right for sure.
That's what I was gonna say. The fact that he's making the choice of like staying home with him, so he can say that he had his dad at home. If I grew up
with my dad never would have did that. He would have. I'm collecting 2 checks.
You fuck all that, bro. You are here, nigga. You've been here from beginning to now. I'm not even gonna say till end because
we get wrapped up.
There is no end.
We get wrapped up in wanting to be better than our parents, that we end up being just like them. So I feel like 100%. If we don't pay attention to what they didn't do or what they could have done or whatever, we'll just be good parents because that child in there, I was just gonna say, isn't like you, but he is.
But he is.
So how you wish you were parented, parent him.
Exactly.
Which is what I feel like I do.
Yeah, you do. That's what I'm saying. By taking the time, showing him different ways to deal with whatever, allowing him to be picky with food, because you know that there's going to be a time in his life where he's going to grow up, and if he wants to try foods, he'll try them. If he wants to,
like,
you know,
for instance,
whatever.
like that,
if somebody trying to force him some shit, be
force
like,
feed shit. Exactly.
I don't like this shit.
I've had that. I've had food shoved down my throat.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm like, parent him how you want to be parented.
I would never do that.
Right.
You see how different this parenting style was, bro? That's crazy. My daughter throwing up gang signs of "I love you," and you guys are like, "Don't fight over the chips."
Is it gang signs or sign language?
Yeah, all right, it
but
depends on how you take it.
That's the only child syndrome. You know what I mean? Like, because when Mateo was the only child, he was lovable. He was this. He was that. I didn't have to parent him the way I need to parent him now. If Luca was the only child, when Mateo's gone, Luca's a fucking angel.
You don't hear Luca cry.
We don't hear Luca cry. We don't hear us yelling at him. We don't yell at him. We don't do anything. We take him out. We do things. He cuddles up with us. We watch movies. I love you. This, and that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a only child syndrome, and they're only allowed to experience it when one or the other is gone. Because I don't know what it is when they're both together. Like, they love to get the attention of us in that way instead of just being like, hey, can we do this together? Hey, can we go here together? Hey, like, you know, because it's like, and I want to say it's because of the dynamic that we are technically 2 households, you know. Mateo has to leave somewhere and come back. And he brings that shit over here. And so it's just hard. Like, it's just hard to want to parent him our way. And then even though he comes back with other parenting ways. But Lucas stays the same. Lucas only disturbed when Mateo's here.
Mm-hmm. And I can't even relate to that because both me and Mike went to another house. And Jake also went to a completely separate house.
And Jake, you guys are all different people.
And Jake didn't come from a toxic father. We did. Me and Mike. Because Jake has a different dad. Me and Mike had the same 2 parents. So my dad was toxic. I don't give a fuck what he says. He has toxic traits. I'm not going to say he was toxic. He has toxic traits. He's narcissism. My mom is toxic. And you know her. She's crazy.
Linda, I said nothing.
So it's they
all have different dynamics.
We all have different dynamics.
100%. Which I'm not gonna lie, this has been a realization that I've came to as a fucking young adult. You need that in your life. You need that. You need that dynamic from
it
every
gives you the ability to adapt to anything.
Exactly.
Well, it's literally like Sarah would say all the time. She's like, like me and her were talking. She was like, if you could change your life, would you have changed it? And I was like, as a kid, I think I said yes. And she put it in my brain. She was like, I wouldn't change nothing.
So it wouldn't make you who
because
you are.
I wouldn't be who I am without that.
I was going to say, fucking privileged Codyak.
Oh, God.
I can call my dad whenever
hi,
fucking shit goes
I know.
wrong.
I'm like, hi, I'm privileged Codyak.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, horrible.
Ridiculous.
We probably would be friends.
Yeah, horrible.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
There probably wouldn't even be
even
be a Codyak if he was privileged. It would just be Cody.
Literally.
It would not.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It would be Cody the electrician or some shit.
Because Kodiak came
Cody the electrician.
I was like, or some shit, you know?
because Kodiak came from the hood. It came from Tyrell. It came from my partner Jeffrey.
You were a bear
Kodiak
who came from his mom, whose dad got hunted and killed.
Pooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, homeboy got lost looking for food.
He went out
Never
for
made it
cigarettes.
back.
However you want to put it, yo, he went out for some goddamn oat milk.
Yogi
and-
went out to burn the forest.
Yogi went out
and
to look for
couldn't
some
find the fire.
honey and never came back with the honey.
Long story short, Codyak became a bear all on his own.
Yep.
No guidance on how to be a bear.
And I ain't trying to toot your horn, nigga, because I feel like this is why we bond a little bit, because we came from the same, these branches fell off the same tree.
You know
what I'm saying?
I didn't know. I always knew I was poor. I didn't know I was always poorer until Deidre.
And I think you should salute your mom for the fact that you were oblivious to the fact that shit was what it was until you found out what it was. That is a fucking game that you cannot play with. That is a cloak that you cannot.
But within that
but I don't
same
know.
breath,
I don't know if it was my mom,
or
if everyone around me.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
because
who
his
it
mom was the cause of the
that-
turmoil. No.
Right.
It doesn't
So-
matter.
so
That was
come-
not your reality, bro.
Right.
You didn't know that was your reality until you had to find out.
But see, this is the thing. I think he didn't know because he was so fucking focused on helping Mike not realize it either.
It doesn't matter.
You know?
Blissful ignorance is exactly that.
Ignorance
Blissful
is bliss.
ignorance.
Yeah, exactly. Ignorance is bliss.
It's exactly that.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know no better.
You didn't know
no better.
exactly. You didn't know any better.
Exactly. So why would you be to blame for anything that went wrong or anything that was going on with that? You didn't know shit.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's not funny. It's sad because when we first met and he described me what he grew up as, I literally started crying. And I was like, you were that kid that I would come home and tell my mom about. You were that kid that I was like, could you buy him clothes? Could you pack me an extra snack so I can give it to him?
Even like Data was telling her
like
story.
how hard it was to feed him. And she was like, this fool will be there all day long. And I would be like, come on, let's go, let's eat. And she's like, and he would be like, I'm not hungry. I ate at home. When? Since you've been here since the morning time. When did you eat at home?
Right.
You're not hungry. We've ate 2-3 times since you got here. And you still telling me you ain't hungry. Boy, if you don't get over here and eat. Like, she's like, we had to force feed him. She was like, and we knew, like, my mom knew that his mom didn't make any money. My mom had her addiction or whatever. She's like, but she still went out and made money. She still went out and brought home milk. She still went out and brought home food. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she literally told her, she was like, we were broke.
Yeah, they were poor.
But he was poor.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie. This is how I know these type of souls have been here before. Mm-hmm. Because he was like,
this is
what it is.
Nothing new. Exactly.
But I know it.
It's going to be all right.
Yep. I know I'm going to make it through.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
These are the type of things, which brings me back to my birthmark point of like birthmarks. People who have birthmarks compared to people who don't.
Yeah.
It brings me back to your point of like, you're new here. compared to like you've been here before.
Which is the placement of like, again, where I land in the siblings chart, what type of man I end up with. Man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what type of children? Why do I only have sons? Why, you know what I mean? Because I'm still learning how to be a woman. I'm not ready to have a daughter yet. I don't know how to teach another little girl how to be a woman because I'm still learning. But because I'm so hard, because a man raised me, I know how to raise men. I know what to inflict in men because I know what women are going to want because that's what I want. So that's why I feel like there's just, for that reason, everything falls together.
It's funny because, like, granted, she had two parents in her house, but her dad raised her, or she attracted more towards her dad. I was raised by a woman. Through and through.
That's right. So we did make those connections too.
I have, as much as, because I was the oldest in my house, because Jake did live with his dad. I was the man of that house at like 7 years old.
But he also had to be sensitive enough to.
But I'm also raised by a woman, so I have feminine tendencies.
In the most, I wanted to say good, but it comes to a default too. Like it comes to like where it's a problem. It's conflict because he feels like women going back to sex appeal. When they're mad at you, they hold out, right? They don't talk to you. They give you the cold shoulder. They do this. They do that. That's how he carries himself when he's mad. He doesn't put out. He doesn't want you to touch him. He doesn't want you to tell him nice things. He doesn't want to do. And then I'm over here like,
salute to you.
Yeah,
right. I could turn pussy down.
Yeah,
hey, salute to you. Bro.
Yeah,
I could turn pussy down.
And then I'm over here like, my dad would piss my mom off, and then you would see him like, oh, you want me to make you this? Or, oh, look, I got you this. Or just being super nice and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so I go and do that to him. And I'm like, do you want me to make you your favorite blah, blah, blah? Do you want a drink? Do you want this? Do you want like...
Fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm not over it.
Yeah. And then he hits me with the...
I wish that worked when I... Oh my God.
And then he hits me with the, you can't tell me how long I have to take to get over things. You can't tell me da-da-da. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Fuck
oh you. My God. I wish that worked for me.
Like me, like... There's no such thing as like makeup sex for me. I'm not over it. I don't need pussy right now. I'm not over it.
I need you to understand where the fuck I'm coming from.
Yeah. Literally. And it's literally like for me, this is why I can never, like the player lifestyle never really worked out for me because it's like.
That was another thing too.
It's hard for me to fuck you without like a feeling. So, and that's the feminine shit in me.
I need to like you.
Don't
I have to like you.
No. Don't disrespect yourself like that. That's the you part of you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's literally like
because you could have been raised by your mom and then been Mike. I'm sure Mike loves makeup sex.
Mike probably loves makeup sex.
I'm sure Mike looks for arguments
me personally, it's just like if I'm mad at you, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to pee really bad, and I want to pause on this. Can I please pause on this?
She'll want to do the makeup sex, and I'm like, touch me.
I never found myself with the upper hand.
And that's the most men are like that. I'm probably the only man I know that'll turn down some pussy. Fuck you. I'm pissed off. Leave me alone.
What? I'm learning to come to terms with this relationship. Like it's either leave it or love it. So it's like I gotta learn to love it.
That's hella funny. You know what though? I be trying it though. I'm not gonna lie.
You cave in.
Nah, I don't think so.
So pussy.
I think they just give up. I think they're just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
and that's the thing. Like I don't give up.
All right.
It actually gets quite annoying of how persistent I am to him.
But it also gets quite annoying to her how persistent I am.
One thing about with this motherfucker just being like,
You know from personal experience, I don't think there's anyone out there that can out stubborn me.
Like, I will literally rub him. No. Like, he'll be in bed first. I'll come and I'll, like, rub him.
She's literally, like, put her hand in my pants and I will, like, make it to where my dick won't get hard.
Yeah.
He said, I will make it to where my dick doesn't get hard.
He's turned around. Like, if he's on his back and I come and I'll put my hands in his pants and he's literally like, turned around.
Fuck off me.
Literally.
No, for real.
Turned around to the other side.
Because you know how you can, like... you
just
can make yourself so...
Yeah,
you can make yourself so pissed off to where nothing's going to turn you on.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have mad self-control.
I have mind control, but I don't have mind control where it matters.
Man.
Like I can't control my anxiety.
He said, I've made myself not want to get her. Mm-hmm.
She's literally just played with a flaccid dick.
But he doesn't sit there and think about what it does to me in return. You know what I mean? Like how it affects me and how.
No.
We're not gonna make that personal.
No.
Don't take away from my feelings.
No,
I'm just saying you can feel your feelings.
What I'm gonna say is, what happened to get him to this? Because owning a dick, I know that it has to have something to happen to you in order for it to be flaccid.
It's not easy.
He just doesn't like the way I talk to him. He thinks I talk at him.
Well, isn't it one thing about men is that as misogynistic as it might sound, is like we need to be talked to with respect. As horrible as it sounds.
Yeah. Not only that, just talk to me nice.
Yeah, I guess that's more what it is. It's not necessarily talk to me with respect. Just talk to me. Don't talk at me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you talk at me, it makes me feel like a child.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't. That's not a position I want to be in.
It's definitely not the response you're going to think you're going to get.
Oh, no. I speak to him the way I speak to him because it gives me gratification. I'm not going to allow you to continue thinking.
What kind of fish would you be in the ocean?
Oh, no. What? Let's get into this.
It's just more of a pride thing because we're both stubborn people. And it's just like, I'm not.
Yeah, bitch ass nigga. Take this pussy, nigga. Fuck you.
No.
Wait, we talking about sex still?
No.
Were we not?
No.
I'm sorry.
That was aggressive as fuck.
No.
That was aggressive and inappropriate, and I'm sorry.
You bitch ass. Hold on. Yeah, you bitch ass. Take this pussy.
No.
I'm really sorry, and I don't mean...
you're fine. No, you're good. It's just more of like, I get gratification out of speaking to him like that because it's like, when I'm asking you for what I want and you're telling me that you're not going to do this, this, and that because of this, this, and that, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to hurt your feelings then because you already hurt mine. And then, I'm going to hurt your feelings. And then I hurt the feelings. And then he ends up winning because I thought that by hurting his feelings.
She thought by hurting my feelings, I was going to. No.
Yeah, exactly.
She thought by hurting my feelings.
I could comfort him.
I was either going to lash out or become a child and cry about it.
And you somehow did both.
Yeah.
But it's like I tell her, I was like...
he's throwing a tantrum like a child, technically.
Right. But I tell her all the time, I'm like,
still standing
his point. He's hitting at you with grown-up words like flaccid.
Not even that. He's just hitting me like a grown-up by ignoring me like a fucking child.
No, just grown about it all the way because it's like I tell her, I'm like, I have my emotions under control. Man. To where...
Okay, Jordan, that's a... He says his emotions are under control. Are they under control or are they just turned off? And is it the same thing? If you're able to turn off your emotions and not feel it and not work yourself,
and not lash out,
100%.
It's the same as controlling emotions.
If I'm able,
but if there's nothing to control because you shut yourself off.
If I'm able to control myself from getting crazy, knowing that I want to get crazy, that's 100% control. 100%.
Even if I get high and my blood boils, I can control that.
Because you know what's going to be said about me if I did lose control?
Everything
my God,
he says
lost
about
control. Oh my God, he lost control. He's crazy.
Yeah, everything he says about me. You're a horrible person. You make me feel like
whether
this.
You turn them up, and this is the analogy I told her. I was like, if you go into a room and you turn the light off or you turn the light on, that's controlling the light that goes into that room.
Right. Not only that.
So whether you say it's turning off my emotions is still under control because I'm not reacting the way I want to react.
Not only that, but listen to this. When you react how you want to react and people be like, oh my God, you're crazy. You're this, you're that. How does that
emotions
make you feel?
Not under control.
Embarrassing.
Exactly.
Because your emotions aren't controlled.
So when he reacts that way and you tell him, oh, you're this, you're that, how do you expect that to make him feel? You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Embarrassed. So
he never lashes out. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then because he doesn't approach the problem in that moment and deal with his emotions and speak on what he needs to speak on, it later comes out, and then it later comes out with like fury because now he has that. On top of what I pissed him off.
Yeah, there's tension for sure.
Right. And it's just like, bruh, if you would have just talked about it the first time, if you would have told me that this was an issue the first time instead of just shutting yourself down, we wouldn't have to keep visiting the same.
Did you make it an available space for him to be able to talk about it?
No, and that's what he just told me today. He was just like, you make it feel like you're attacking me or you're no longer like a safe space because every time I tell you something, you use it against me later on. And it's like, you do the same exact thing though. Like that's the toxic fucking communication we got going on. The moment so I want to express my feelings is the moment that he wants to pull out all the shit I used to do and all the shit I used to say.
As a man, do you bring up what bothers you in that moment, or when you're being yelled at, then do you bring it up because in the moment when you brought it up, it was a problem that didn't need to be a problem. But now that we have an issue, I'm going to bring up my problem.
It never works out for me as a man.
No, it never works out.
So why would you keep doing it if it never works out?
It doesn't work out either way.
Because I want to be heard.
It doesn't work out either way.
That's what I'm saying. So just say it in that moment, no matter what the fuck.
No, but why create an issue?
Because if you don't hear me, and you decide to use something against me to where it's like...
We're hearing you. We're listening to you. I can't
but
speak for Naima.
We don't know that you hear us.
I don't know that.
It don't feel like you hear us.
The reaction that I got, it did not say, I hear you and I understand you.
And I tell him that. Not. I tell him that. I'm like, I get what you're saying, but this isn't the moment to bring it out. Right now, I'm telling you what I'm expecting from you, what I need from you, and what you should be doing for me. And instead of telling me all this...
So this was you.
Yes.
What you're expecting and what you're doing.
Because I initiated a problem. I initiated the conversation. I wanted to tell. I'm like, so what are we doing? What's going on?
I'm going to tell you what I have a problem with.
But I'm like expressing my feelings.
No, I feel you. Okay, so now take this into consideration, right? If he was to be like, okay, I understand. Now, if this is what I'm feeling and blank, blank, blank.
Yeah,
is how
we
I
literally
feel.
did that today in a text message. It seems
right,
like
but
we
text
can only...
message and in-person conversations are different.
And you know why? Because he says that in person, he can't come up with the words he wants to say. In a text message, he can. Great, perfect. How is that my fault? How is it my fault that I'm not listening to you and you're not feeling heard when you're not saying what you need to be saying because you can't articulate it into words?
Right. Right. Okay. Look, let me calm down before I get too hyped. I don't want to feel like I'm taking sides. I don't want to feel like I'm going against you.
Men will always side with men. Women will always side with women because we know what we're feeling.
Because we understand what we're going
through. Exactly. So, with that being said, if I'm saying something to my significant other and I'm trying to let her have a message or relay a message to her that in person it would not come across the same way, it's because in person, the reactions that I get is not going to be the same as when I'm like, okay, over text message or over voice message or anything like that. You're going to make your faces and be upset, but I'm not going to be here to see it, to where it doesn't affect me, to where it affects my outcome of the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because certain facial expressions will make you deter from your original thing.
But he also doesn't see what his facial expressions are. His eyebrows move. His facial
expressions don't cost as much as yours do, though.
Because of who he is, right? Because he knows that right off the bat, my facial expression is this, it's that. But he doesn't know what his facial expressions does to me. Just how I don't know what my facial expression does to him.
I can understand that. But it's like I told her, I was like,
But you know whose facial expressions are supposed to matter?
Well, like he said, the woman's emotions.
When a man is unhappy in a household, it doesn't affect the house. And when a woman is upset in the household, the whole house is upset.
And they say that happy wife, happy life. That's cool. That's all. You know what I'm saying? The bee's knees.
The fucking ball rolls on if I'm happy or not.
What?
That's cool. But I also have feelings.
Happy spouse, happy house is the shit
that's the
I
one
like,
right there.
that I like to live by.
Exactly. And he's always happy here. His house is always happy because his home is in here. Nothing around him matters. I can literally sit here and tell you that, Jordan, that I can stomp around mad and the world will go on with me mad. It doesn't matter what emotions I'm going through.
No, I can tell you that's my dissociation of...
And that's fine. That is the tone you're setting for this household. You dissociate when you're upset and you're setting the tone that you don't give a fuck because your life continues whether I'm upset, whether I'm happy, whether I'm not. Because even when I'm upset, I still cook. I still sit in your space
when I'm upset,
and I still do that.
I can sit here and I can clean and I can do what I have to do. At the end of the day, my emotions, me being upset, doesn't affect the household at all. The kids aren't upset when I'm upset, but when you're upset and yelling around, they don't
know what the fuck is going on at all. That depends on y'all two. And I'm not saying that because I'm on the outside looking in. I go through this shit, you know what I'm saying, too. Mm-hmm. And y'all got two people that look at y'all and can draw opinions from different areas. Mm-hmm. I got one person that's looking at this shit and being like, this is the example.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody's opinion matters in this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And that's all I'm being asked to be validated. And there can't seem to be a moment to be validated.
But as much as you want your opinion validated, you gotta understand that his gotta be validated.
His opinion gets validated on the daily. I constantly ask him, what is wrong with you? What do you need from me? What do you need me to change?
Right.
Nothing. I'm fine.
But when you're going through shit and he acknowledges shit, even though you're mad and your emotions are up high, when he's expressing shit, do you acknowledge that?
Yeah. Literally. All the time. I not?
When we're arguing and I express my feelings, I don't feel like they're validated because I feel like it's more... when we're in arguments, it's more of a pointing game.
Right, because...
it's a blame game. It's a blame game.
Right. And I'm not speaking from his point of view. I'm speaking from my point of view. When I get into arguments, it's more like okay, I'm going to take what's being said because I want this shit to shut up. I want this shit to stop. Okay, whatever. However you feel, all right, cool, whatever. I'm going. But at the end of the day, it's not the truth. It's just me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
The problem.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be like, whatever. I'm over this shit. It's done. We're going in circles and going nowhere.
That doesn't make you right. It's
just me being tired.
I'm tired of this. I'm done.
And that's worse. Done. I do not want to hear that. I don't want to hear I'm done. I don't want to hear whatever because at this point you took whatever I said and you still couldn't see the fucking nucleus of the problem. You still couldn't understand that my feelings were being hurt. My feelings were being dismissed. My feelings, like I need more to be poured into my cup since I know that I pour into your cup.
Right.
I know that I'm constantly trying to make your day as fucking easy as it can be.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's selfish. If y'all going into an argument and y'all both have opinions, you can't just be like, "Oh, you need to see it my way." Or
I've never said that.
But that's just what you kind of described right
now. No, I literally just said no. I said that my feelings weren't validated.
No, but it does come across as me.
That's
because
all.
I feel like I'm not being heard.
Right. But at the same time, the way you want to be heard is the same way we want to be heard.
He's not asking to be heard. That's what I'm saying. How do you expect
just because it's not in the language that you understand?
No, and I can tell you, speaking for myself, it's hard for me to ask for that.
Exactly. He never asks for that. How do I know what to give when it's not being asked for me?
Right. It's not her fault 100%. But in the sense of we've been together almost 8 years. I feel like at this point you should know
exactly.
We should
too.
know, and I'm taking accountability. I know I could do better. I know for sure I could do better. But I'm saying you should know. If you don't know, you should know me as a person that I will never put my hand out. I feel like you should know,
and you should know as what I've been there for you.
Hold on.
You should know that I'm when I need help, or when I need something.
Let's take it back to 2020. Did I not know? Did I not do what I needed to do when you needed help?
So in 2020, I was having my panic attacks. Right in the beginning, she was always there. And then it got to a point where, and I completely understand for her mental health. I completely get it. But in the moment, it was worse for me. But that's selfish of me, and I understand that. She would leave with her friends, and the panic of her being.
Don't just say leave with her friends. She would go on a hike to release herself.
She would go do what she needed to do for her mental health.
It doesn't.
So she would go do what she needed to do for her mental health, and I completely understand that, and I accepted it. Now, in the moment, no. In the moment, it was more like you're abandoning me in my desperate time of need.
One of us had to be okay.
No, but granted, and I understand that my panic attacks aren't. I'm gonna have a panic attack for 15 minutes and I'm over it. My panic attacks last for months. I understand that. It's
literally
crazy.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I understand that my mental health is fucking up your mental health. Completely understand it. In the moment, it's hard for me to accept it because I'm going through what I think is worse than what you're going through, which is very selfish of me. But as a man who it takes a lot for me to ask for help or ask for you to it takes a lot for me to be vulnerable, period. Mm-hmm. So for me to be, don't leave. To me, that's vulnerable. To you, that's just like...
I think that's the definition.
You know what I mean? So 2020 came and I understand her point of view on it. In the moment, like I said, I did not. Now I do. Even going like anything, car rides, anything, it was just instant panic. I was just panicking. She was there, but no, she was there. Towards the back half, I felt abandoned. I understand now. In the moment, I did not. I just felt abandoned. So I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying anyone's wrong. You're right in protecting your mental health, 100%.
We have kids. One of us had to be okay. They still were dealing with school at home. I still was going to work.
Understand that. That's what I'm saying. I understand that. I appreciate what you did in 2020. In the moment, I just felt abandoned. So me feeling abandoned and then you treating me the way you're treating me and then just abandoning me, it didn't help the situation. Mm-hmm. Outside of being panicked, I know where even during panic, I understood where you were coming from.
100%.
All I feel is abandonment.
But you weren't alone. You had your mom that you would call constantly. You had the boys at home with you.
But the comfort was you.
Can I just speak?
That's all I can say.
I'm not a professional. I don't know what.
It's a damn good therapy session.
But no, listen. What I'm speaking from personal experience, if I was to put myself in his shoes, it would be, you know what I'm saying? It would be that. Is that you're my, you know what I'm saying? You're my home base.
Your home was crumbling unless she got
But
some
in the
help.
moment, we don't understand
and I respect that too.
Yeah.
But you gotta make that a verbal communication. But
I thought I was holding the fucking fort down because he wasn't working anymore. Yeah, he was getting his unemployment and was still able to afford the bills. But I felt like I needed to go get a job. So now I was delivering Amazon packages. I was doing things. That was taking a toll on my mental health.
And I would never take away from what I've never said that you didn't do what you needed to do in 2020 when I failed to do what I needed to do. I just felt abandoned. Yeah. That's all it is. I just felt abandoned, and I know I was wrong for my feelings.
Outside looking in, I think you guys mind you, I hate being in this position to feel like telling y'all what y'all need to do or what y'all should do or whatever, because it's never what y'all need to do. But I feel like if I was in a position, I feel like I would just. I feel like this is a time to appreciate one another because.
Thank you. Because that's what I've been telling him.
There's no way that you can depend on somebody in this day and age with the dating world or with the people that you got available to you to pick up the slack, bro. When you're going through shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like a panic attack, bro. 10 years, 20 years ago, bro, that shit was obsolete.
Yeah, they would have looked at me like, what the fuck you talking about?
That shit is obsolete. But the fact that you had somebody who not only understood where you was coming from, but took the reins to be like, don't trip, I got it. Even if it's just for now, bro, that's something that you should be saluting, bro.
For sure. And have I ever said that you...
No. Let me finish. On the other hand, the fact that this man has a fucking the wherewithal to come to it to be like, look, I can't handle this shit right now. I'm going through it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to take the reins. For him to be able to come to conclusions with himself like that, and to be like, instead of something going bad, you know what I'm saying, to where I just want to take myself out, or I just want to, you know what I'm saying, give up on everything, to where that he took that upon himself to be like, I need you, you know what I'm saying, I'm calling on you. As my other half, I need you to do this for me because I need this time. That should also be respected and commended, because that's not something that men do.
I tell him all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
I see you. I hear you. I love you. That's all I say to him.
So
all the time, constantly.
Y'all shouldn't be beefing over this at all.
I tell him all the time, I'm like, I'm here to help you.
Exactly.
I'm your other person. You're always on defense. You always think that if I'm telling you that I need this from you, it's because I'm being a fucking money hungry ass bitch and I need you to go to work and I need... No, it's because I want more. I want, like you said, I want you to give them an example of what to look up to. And
that's where that divide comes in, where I was raised off survival.
Yep.
But she was raised off of...
But you got to see all the times that I've stepped up for you, like you said. I'm not here to be your enemy. I'm not here to do that.
Relax.
I've never declined what she's done, and I never would. Because if it was just me with the kid during 2020...
You be out of your fucking mind with fucking problems and bonanzas, bro.
It would have been fucked.
All that, bro.
It would have been fucked.
You would have been, yeah.
It would have been fucked.
Exactly. So
granted, I had a job that I could go back to. I had a job.
Yeah.
But it took me
away from what you had to do.
Yeah, it took me 7 months of pure panic to where, like, she says I gave her trauma one time because we were going to the hospital.
Bruh, that shit was so scary. Oh my God.
So you know what it's like to have an asthma attack.
I'm driving. Because I'm taking him to the hospital. I'm driving.
We're going to Manteca.
And he's like, oh my God. Like, he's having his panic. And I'm like, honey, what are you? Do I need to pull over? Do I need to call 911? I hop on the phone with 911 and I'm like, I have somebody who's, exhibiting like asthma symptoms, but he was also experiencing a panic attack. Like, I don't know if I should pull over. I don't know if I should go. And she's like, well, what do you want to do?
When I reached over. So when you have an asthma attack, like that no breath you grab. So imagine like an anxiety attack and like an asthma attack at the same time. So when I took a breath, I can't even pretend to do it. When I took a breath, I like got no air. So I reached over instinctively and went like this.
While I'm driving.
While she's driving, and she freaked the fuck out.
Because I'm already freaking out. I've never seen anybody have an asthma attack. And I'm like, my God, are you okay? Like
that breath, I thought it was my last one. So I reached over like, honey, I can't breathe. And she's like, you want me to call the hospital or
911
ambulance? I was like, yeah, call the ambulance. The ambulance was like, she's like, we're driving down 99. We're going to Manteca. And the ambulance said, 911 said, if you want an ambulance to come,
you have to pull over.
You have to stop driving.
Yeah.
In my head, I used to work with someone who was an ambulance person, and they said it's going to take them 15 to 30 minutes to get to you.
We could
I'm 6 minutes away from the hospital.
Exactly.
So I was like, keep
Just
going.
Drive, yeah.
I was able to catch a good deep breath. Granted, I'm still panicking, but I was able to catch a good deep breath. But that one breath that I couldn't catch, I thought I was dying. I thought that was my last one.
He traumatized the fuck out of me by reaching over like that and grabbing me.
And like it was a smack.
Like he smacked the shit out of my chest.
You know, like when you in your most desperation thing, you just grab something. That's what I did. And I understand that. And to have that for 7 months, I completely get where she's coming from. She had to get out the house. Completely get it. But I just felt abandoned, and I'm left with 2 kids.
The fact that even when you just smack my chest right now, I thought you was trying to Ric Flair me, bro. I was like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, what?
And imagine in like a real panic. But I'm pretty sure I smacked the shit out of her.
He did.
Which brings me to my point.
No, he did.
That's somebody that you gotta at least take into consideration to be like, if I could trust anybody, bro, it would be that motherfucker right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I can say wholeheartedly, like, that's home. 100%. That's where I feel the safest. That's where I feel the least anxiety, the least panic.
100%.
My next question would be, what is to validate a woman, what does that mean to you?
Or reassure her in a relationship. How would you reassure her? Because women need reassurance.
Oh, all right. That's 2 parts of the question. I'm gonna get to the first part. With that being said, I was at death's door. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was selling them Girl Scout cookies. if you want to be honest.
He was asking them if he believed in God.
You know they just didn't open the door. They was looking at me through the blinds. They was like, not those.
On the door it said no solicitation.
And if there was any face that I could have woken up to, it was my daughter's mom. Mm-hmm. And as much bullshit as I put her through, as much, you know what I'm saying, as much hell that I put her through, you know what I'm saying, other bitches, other, you know what I'm saying, other situations, all that shit, bro. There would never have been a more satisfying feeling than to see her right there.
Is that who you woke up to?
100%. I woke up to my daughter giving me a Pikachu that had the voice of her telling me, Daddy, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this.
You still got it?
100% I still got that. But my daughter's mom was right behind her. Mm. And that would have been none possible if it wasn't for her. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Mm. But there would have been nobody else that I would have been like, oh.
You could have woke up to me. You could have woke up to your mom. You could have woke up to Lupe. You could have woke up to your brother. And none of that was going to compare to waking up to.
It would have been great, but it wouldn't have been that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to y'all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But that's when I came to the realization. It was like, okay, I got another chance. Because she could have been like,
she loves me.
Exactly. She could have been like, fuck all this shit.
Yeah. We'll see you when you get out.
Exactly. Yeah. Whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't that at all. Mm-hmm. And that shit.
I know personally because I talked to Naima while you were in the hospital.
Yeah, through Facebook. And he had to look her up, like looked for her on Facebook. And he's like, I think
no, me and her, she called me on Facebook. Yeah. And the desperation.
The desperation. Yeah. She was like, "Oh my God, what happened? Jasmine's been trying to talk to him
at
for
this
like
point, I'm the one that has the most information at this point.
Exactly.
I think I was the first one to see you, and me and her were the first ones to get to the hospital. We were the first ones outside of
homegirl.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were the first ones there. Like, I called off work, called them, told them I was like, my brother's in the hospital. He's basically dying. I need to leave. Yeah. I'm in San Jose. I go straight to the hospital. She hops on 12. She leaves work. She goes straight up there.
Yeah.
and we had to wait till like 5 o'clock or whatever.
The afternoon, we missed the morning.
Later on, I talked to her, and the despair in her voice is like,
she loves him.
I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if it was more so the mother of your daughter thinking she's going to lose her daughter's father.
No,
as a mother of a child, I'm telling you right now that I would have sat at home and I would have waited for that call, because if I didn't love the father of my child, because I wouldn't have wanted my child to see his father like that.
And that's what she kept saying. The pain in Jaslene's, you know what I'm saying? Because mind you, before that, I never missed a call.
Yeah.
Jasleen would call me and nigga, it would be about the dumbest shit. Dad, what ice cream flavor should I give?
I can tell you personally, I would tell her, I'm like, Jordan's not answering my phone calls. Something's wrong. I swear to God, we were talking every day at that point.
So if we're realizing that,
so I
wonder what Jasleen was feeling.
So and I told her, I told her, because we didn't know if you were gonna make it, and I've told her, I was like, I'm gonna have to take care of Jasleen.
Yeah.
I love you for that, bro.
I swear to God, that was what he said. We sat there and I was like, what if he never wakes up? And I was like, his daughter. Like, I was like, his daughter. And he was like, I'm going to have to take care of Jazz. Like, I can't let her.
To the best of my abilities.
Right. 100%. Like, if I would be there if she needed anything. Like.
Yeah, I'm throwing birthday parties and I'm doing what I got to do. As far as
who's cutting onions in this motherfucker, right. You know? God
so
damn it.
As far as I didn't know when I got the text, I was on the phone with her, and I was like I just got a text. Well, I mean Facebook message, but I was like, I just got a text. I was like, because granted, I have been calling you for a
3 days.
Fucking week.
3 days.
Again,
fucking week, bro.
We literally, this is
every
what the playlist.
Day.
This is when the playlist 1 or the playlist 2. This playlist 1. We was every day.
We was in creation.
We was motherfucking like creation mode. Exactly.
The reason that album is only 5 songs is because this happened. Mm-hmm. So I'm literally telling her, I was like.
I think we had just been speaking about you. Like, I was like, have you heard about from Jordan yet?
The first time I called, I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe he's busy or something, whatever you're doing. And then I called later that day, and I'm like, I'm to myself at this point. I'm like, something's not right.
And then I'm like,
I called the next day.
No, that same night, I was like, I thought Jordan was coming over. And he was like, no.
Oh, that's what it was. You were supposed to come over. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he cut it off.
Yeah. Maybe something came up or something.
Next day, I'm like,
I usually hit you, and I'm like,
I was like,
morning.
Bro. Yeah, I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And she's like, do you think she did something? I was like, no, I don't think she could. Bro, week goes by. Isn't the intuition
a son of a bitch? Because wasn't that what happened? It got mixed. It could have been on purpose.
That was his fault, though.
Whatever. Yeah. But like, why was it there? You know what I mean? Just different shit. And my first thing was like, she wouldn't. Yeah. This bitch wouldn't. You know what I mean?
No, that's fucking crazy. So a week passed, because you got to think it's been, and I'm calling you multiple times a day.
Mm.
It wasn't a week.
I'm like,
fuck. We found out like on a Tuesday.
No, it was about a week.
No, because I was on a Saturday and we found out on a Tuesday. No, honey, it was less than that. It was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Messages. Please do.
So, even the messages aren't going to say, because I can't go back to the phone call log.
Goddamn.
But I'm calling every day, and I'm like, he's not answering. I was like, something's wrong because he's not answering. Like,
check the jails.
I was like, his
check
phone.
The hospitals.
No. So I didn't call hospitals. I called the jails. Called every jail.
In that area.
That's where y'all thought I was going to go. I appreciate that.
The only reason I did that is because I remember you telling me.
You
told me, you were like, you were like, my mom knows if she can't get a hold of me,
it's because
to call the jails.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me call the jails. Jails were like, no, we don't have nobody under that name. I was like, fuck. So running through it, I'm like, something's wrong. Something happened, and I don't know how to get a hold of this girl. I'm at work, get the text. She says that. I tell her because I'm on the phone. And when trauma happens, I shut down completely 100%. I get quiet. So I was like,
it happened to me too.
I told her, I was like, she told me Jordan's in the hospital. I don't say nothing else. I'm just quiet. She's like, oh my God, what are we going to... I'm not saying a fucking word.
I'm like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Where's he at?
For me to shut down, in order for me to control
his
crying,
emotions. Yeah, he has to shut down.
So all that happened when I'm reading this to her, I'm already struggling to read it. My eyes fill up with water. I have to shut up. I have to shut up. She's talking, and then she's like, she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, honey. To me, that was like a hug. I didn't say a fucking word.
Broke down.
I didn't say a word. She's like, okay, I'm gonna tell my boss. I'll call you. I was like, all right. Driving, this is where I know I'm fucked up. This is where I know I'm fucked up in the head. Because driving from San Jose to Oakland
you don't remember
in a truck is not fast. Is a slow drive.
We're gonna.
I was in a trailer. I can only go 50, 60 miles an hour.
Not a box.
No, I was in a trailer.
All right.
So I'm driving. I can feel the tears coming. I completely shut off. I'm basically on like autopilot. Like, and that's not even the place to be when you're driving a big ass truck.
In the Bay Area.
So I shut off. Couple tears fall. Stopped it. I'm driving. It's like you know when you go into it like a part of your brain where there's no thought, you just completely blank. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at. Get to the yard, do what I got to do, get in my car, dip out. I'm driving like 90 miles an hour. I'm in the fast track and I ain't got one. So I
just got that.
So I go, baby, go through like fucking Vallejo and all that bullshit. Get there.
I'm stuck in the fucking Rio Vista bridge. There's an accident, two accidents on that fucking bridge. No, I found a different way. I was like, no, I know there's a different way to get there. And so I go around the fucking bridge, through this other fucking thing. It took me an extra 20 minutes, but it was going to be faster than waiting for the fucking bridge to get the traffic out of the...
We couldn't even visit you till 5.
I know, we're getting out.
It's hella funny because today I was going through pictures. I don't know why. I was looking for something. And I seen the picture I took of you unconscious.
Oh my God.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, I fucking remember that shit. So as I'm driving, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't know if this is a selfish thought, but I was like,
can he make music?
No, I told the nurses that. No, but as I'm driving, I'm like, so I'm gonna lose the one friend I have that is like a brother. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to deal with that. I recently just lost a sister. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, fuck. How the selfish thought came in. Like, I don't know. I was like, this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So now I'm gonna lose the closest friend I have.
No, I did this with all selfish intent too. I was like, fuck Codyak.
For sure. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
The fucking guy.
So I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck.
He's gonna imagine what the playlist could be.
Yeah. And so I had many thoughts. I was like, we didn't finish the fucking album yet. No, literally, when we got there, when we got there, I swear to God, bro, like after I talked to the nurses for a little bit, they gave me a rundown on what's going on. I was like, this is very selfish of me. I was like, but is he gonna be able to make music still? They were like, what do you mean? I was like, me and him, we do music together. And they were like, I don't know. I was like, fuck.
She was like, the doctor still has to see if there's any brain swelling, if they have to go in and remove.
Surgery.
Yeah, they have.
You haven't done surgery yet. They still had to do surgery. And one of the first things I asked them after they gave me the rundown, I was like, is he going to be able to make music still? And they were like, I don't know. I was like, well, that sucks. And I was
I mean, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Honestly, like I tell him, I kind of like it better now because you're in a different area of your brain because again, like you've gone through a different part of like life.
When you first started, I was concerned.
It was ass cheeks.
No. It wasn't.
No, it was ass cheeks.
No, it was. It wasn't what you were saying. It was the fact that you couldn't remember how you said it. You couldn't catch the beat. There was variables to me that I was like, fuck, he's not going to be able to do this. And it was more so, like I said, it was selfish on my end, but it was also more like he needs music. He needs music more than music needs him. So in my head, I was like, "Fuck!" That's why I remember we were working on a verse. You probably don't remember. It's like fresh out, and I was like, I was helping you construct it.
I do remember it was the lemon pepper freestyle that I was trying to do.
Yeah, and I was like, I when we were doing that, I was like, I don't know if I should step in. But then I got to a point where I was like, I need to step in. If I don't step in, he's not going to be able to. Not that you wouldn't be able to do it. It's kind of like when you're watching a kid learn how to walk and they keep falling, and you want to help them.
Yeah,
that's where I was at.
I don't know if I appreciate.
I'm on sidebar. Right. Next time we should talk about men getting vasectomies.
What the fuck?
No.
Okay. I think that's a great
way to end it.
Way to end it. You know what I'm saying? Let's close up this box. We've been here for about
5.5. Let's leave him in suspense. That's a fuck you on my end.
100%. Okay, she wants any more of those Codyaks. Let's go.
Hulk, smash that like button.
Unpacking what's in my mind, it's gonna take a lot. But turn my mic on, press record, how much time you got? Out the box usually is how it come across. And out the box got they mind doing summer.